Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Dickie Purcell along with Byron Melhap and Coach Tim Coleman from Massaponax High School tonight over in Spotsylvania County for this football game tonight between Massaponax and Louisa. The last time these two teams met, the Lions were victorious over here, 30-22. So who are you looking for tonight, Coach Coleman?
Well, I think, they won over here. They blocked a field goal back in Louisa a few years ago to win a game. I think we're going to see another good football game tonight. Massaponax is a very disciplined type team. Dickie, they've been running this offense since 1998. That's when Coach Ludden started here at Massaponax, and they was running it then, and they're running it now. And you got to stay disciplined on defense to have a chance to stop this running attack.
Who are you looking for tonight, Byron?
Well, talking to Coach Patrick before the game, I know he is very wary of this Massaponax football team. He thinks they got a real good football team. They played 2 games. They won 1. They lost 1. And as most of you know, all of you know, I'm sure Louisa's won their first 2 ball games. But I think this is going to be a real test for Louisa tonight. And I think what they're going to have to do is to play a complete game. They played really well in spurts, but I think what Coach Patrick is looking for is a complete game from his young football team.
All right. Last week, Glen Allen defeated Massaponax 10-7. I thought Coach Perry Jones of Glen Allen's comments were pretty interesting, Tim, because he kind of alluded to what you told us last week. He said he ran the offense himself so that his team could get the feel of exactly what they were going to be facing when they played Massaponax in that triple option.
Yeah, and that's, in talking to Coach Gusto, defensive coordinator for Louisa, I mean, everybody understands, you tell young man, you got dive. Well, Joe over here, you got pitch. Well, Sam, you got the quarterback. And it's easy to say, but when that ball starts slipping in and out, kids, this is one of the most disciplined games that Louisa will have to play tonight to stop this running attack. And you got this, and they will run some counter stuff. You got to stay at home on the backside. And it's going to be for a young football team, which Louisa has.
Right.
Like Byron said, they're going to have to play a complete game. I think, to me, the key is for Louisa's offense to be able to control some time, get time off that clock, and keep Massaponax's offense off the field.
All right, we're going to have the national anthem in just a few minutes, but we may be ready for it. I think they're getting ready, but I don't think they're quite ready for the national anthem yet. The band is over on the field, and it is an extremely warm night, Byron. I saw Dr. Southall down there before the game. It may be a night when you see a lot of cramping up.
Yeah, it's still, I think, about 88, 89 degrees right now. They're obviously, and we're going to keep our fingers crossed on this, there is the chance of thunderstorms in the area, so we hope that that doesn't affect us, because obviously it's not the rain, it's the lightning, and if that's too close, they're just going to have to suspend the game till that's moved off, and that's not what anybody wants. But, last week, guys, Louisa rushed the ball for 65 yards against Court. 28 rushes for 65 yards. That's like 2.3 yards per carry. And I know Coach Patrick and his staff really are going to be looking, Tim, to get that ground game going tonight and chew some of that clock, because they had a whole bunch of 3 and outs. They didn't run but 35 offensive plays last week, so I know he's looking for that ball control.
And I don't know tonight against this Massaponax team if 65 yards on the ground will win this football game for them. I think they're going to have to get a little bit better production. I know I'm looking forward tonight to see how this young quarterback,
Jackson.
Yep.
Jaheim Jackson. Yes.
What's his first name again?
Jamel Jackson.
Jamel Jackson. I'm anxious to see how he handles this environment over here tonight with a team like Massaponax, because Massaponax, from what I understand, has some pretty physical football players on the defensive side, Will was telling me, and they will get after you. So I'm anxious to see how that young man's going to handle himself here tonight.
Yeah, Jaheim Jackson, this will just be his 3rd varsity game that he's ever played in, and he has really been a standout. I think he's been a big surprise, because they didn't think he was going to be the quarterback. They thought it was going to be Caleb Brady until he hurt his knee.
Exactly, and I showed up at a practice over there a few weeks ago, and I'm looking around, and I see Coach Patrick over there on the side by himself with this young man. And I'm thinking, where's Caleb at? I don't see Caleb. So finally I asked one of the players, I said, guys, where's Caleb? I said, Coach, he hurt his knee over the weekend in that scrimmage. I said, really? I said, yeah. So then I walked over with Coach Patrick, was working with that young man, and, you know, for us to understand, that young man this time last year was playing middle school football, not JV, middle school football. And to be in this environment here tonight, that's going to be a big test for that young man.
Yeah, I think his performance for these first 2 games has really been outstanding.
Oh, outstanding.
And I'm really surprised at how he's been able to throw the football, too.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, he made that one little mistake over against Patrick Henry the other 2 weeks ago.
Right.
Had that long ball and he threw it a little short. But, you know, he came back, he bounced back from that and played. That was really about the only mistake he made all night in that football game.
Yeah, Louisa really had some big plays through the air last week against Cortland.
Yeah.
He was 5 for 7, but those 5 completions went for 180 yards.
Yeah.
So doing some quick math, that's about 35, 37 yards of completion. That's pretty potent.
Yeah, and Donovan Nelson was the man he was hitting with those passes. Donovan Nelson was the Falcon Club Player of the Week in Charlottesville last week. Yep.
Fantastic.
Well, I think one of the keys for him, and Coach Patrick knows this, you know, he's going to call the type of pass plays that young man has a chance to be successful with. He ain't going to ask him to be throwing a bunch of deep balls. He ain't going to ask him to be throwing a bunch of balls across the middle. He's throwing hitches out there and screens and things that he has a chance to be successful with, and then letting the other kids pick up those, what they call those yak yards, and yards after the catch, and let them be the athletes. And because I've always said that screens and quick hitches, to me, that was just an extended sweep play. You get it out there a little wide in their hands and let them go be athletes.
Right.
And that's what Coach Patrick is hoping this young man is going to be able to do throughout the season. And maybe as the year goes on, he might bring him along a little bit with some other type of routes. But right now, he's going to give him the routes he can be successful with.
All right, the Louisa's come out on the field on the other side, and here comes Massaponax out on this side. And we're getting ready for the national anthem here shortly, and then we'll be ready for some high school football tonight from over in Spotsylvania County.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we ask that you please rise.
All right, and then we're going to have the national anthem.
As we honor America. Performing the Star Spangled Banner this evening is the Massaponax High School Marching Panther Pride.
Flag.
Thank you. And Panther fans, stay on your feet for the Massaponax.
All right,
song.
we're getting ready for the captains to come out on the field, and we'll have the coin toss here. It's kind of going down in the west here, Byron, and not quite shining in this press box like it was when we first got here.
Yeah, it feels a bit better. I don't know that the temperature's changed that much, but just that sun going down psychologically, it feels a little cooler than it did when we got here.
Yep.
And Tim, the other thing I was just thinking, talking about the passing game, I would expect that Coach Patrick is not necessarily going to throw the ball only when it's 3rd down and 12. I mean, I think he's going to mix it in on some shorter and try to, element of surprise a little bit on the pass.
And he's going to have to do that in order for this young man to be successful. You know, you just is a situational thing. You're in 4-down territory. All right. The second you break off a big play, first down, 2nd and 1. You're in 4-down territory. Sometimes you got to take a shot on 2nd and 1 down the field. That's the times you can take that shot down the field and try to create a big play. You know, again, if you get a completion, it looks great. Of course, you run that risk, you know, of interception, and everybody says, well, why is he throwing it 2nd and 1? But, you know, with a young quarterback, that's where you make big plays in high school. Right. When you're in 4-down territory, 2nd and 1, if you don't complete it, yeah, you still got 2 downs, pick his first down up.
Right. Yeah. And the other thing, Dickie, that's been a real bright spot for Louisa so far in the first 2 games has been its kicking game.
Yeah, no question about that. Yeah. And we've seen Louisa when the kicking game was absolutely awful.
Right.
And now they've really got a good kicking game. Yeah.
I mean, that field goal in the second half last week was obviously huge, but the other things that don't necessarily show up are, you know, he had 3 or 4 clutch punts,
right.
And he does a really nice job, Albertson does, on the kickoffs as well.
Yep. Coach, one other thing. Louisa played 2 games at home. Of course, the atmosphere, you know what it's like at Louisa in the jungle.
Yep.
Now, this is a young Louisa football team, and this is their first trip on the road. That's a little bit different, isn't it?
Well, it's going to be different being on that road for the first time. But, Dickie, with that being said, yes, they've been in an atmosphere over in the jungle. That's a wild place over there on Friday night.
It is that, yes.
So
yes.
The atmosphere here of something like that, that's not going to affect them one bit. What is going to affect them is the fact, yes, they're a young football squad. Their first game on the road. You know, how we going to compete when we got to go on the road away from the jungle?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And in the first 2 games, Louisa has started both games. They've had really good starts to both those games, okay? And so it's going to be interesting to see if they can maintain that and get out of the gate strong tonight against
It looks like, I believe Massaponax is receiving, aren't they?
Yeah, Louisa deferred, and so they're kicking off. Yeah, they'll get the ball in second half.
So let's see if Albertson puts it in the end zone again, Byron. We have seen him do it on occasions, and see if he tries to put it in the end zone. I think that's, if you can put it in the end zone, that's what you want to do, because when you start in high school football, you got the other team on the 20-yard line, that's about as good as you're going to do.
Dickie, you know what? This day and age, I don't know if there's a whole lot of football teams that can take and go 80 yards on a drive without committing some miscues.
Right.
Yeah. So, yeah, that is huge. If you can make that group start from a 20-yard line when you score points or when you have to kick off, that's a huge – that's the biggest friend that the defense has.
Yeah.
Is that kicker that can put that thing in the end zone.
All right, Lions coming over the field. Massaponax going back deep. And we're getting ready for some football here tonight from Massaponax High School in Spotsylvania County. And Tim, I don't believe Massaponax I believe has played in the state championship game before, but had they ever won it?
They played in 2, Dickie, and they've lost both of the ones that they've played in. They've had a chance to play in 2 of them. One is they lost. Remember a kid that played, Tyrod Taylor?
Yeah.
Played at Tech. That's who beat them one year. And I forget. I think they lost both of them to Hampton, I believe.
Okay.
All right, looks like he's going to kick it short. Let's see what happens. And he kicks it real short. And Massaponax is going to get the ball on the 45-yard line. I'm a little surprised at that, Byron.
Yeah, that was a completely different look.
Yeah.
Well, you know, last week, guys, he pooched some last week like that.
Yeah.
But he got him a little bit deeper, down around the 30 to
that's
25 to 30. So I'm not sure. I don't think that's exactly where Coach Patrick wanted that one to end up. I mean, you put them in 4-down territory right now.
Yeah.
On the first
last week they were down around the 30. You're
yes,
exactly right.
25 to 30, which is a great pooch kick.
Yep. All right, here we go. The first offensive player tonight. Massaponax comes out. And the formation you don't see very often anymore, the wishbone.
And all right, handoff straight up the middle, and looks like he's churning forward for a pretty good gain that time, maybe about 7 yards or so.
Louisa opened up guys in a 5-man line there, and they're almost like in a 52 look with playing a cover 2 with the corners up.
All right.
7-3, second down and 3.
All right, that's going to bring, after that 7-yard gain on that run play up the middle, it's going to bring up second down and 3. The ball is just into Louisa territory at the 49-yard line.
Fullback again gets the ball, and this time he doesn't get much.
Yeah, he is stacked up right at the line of scrimmage. Good play by the Louisa defensive front that time.
Wiggins up the middle, no gain on the play. Third down and 3.
All right, that's number 8, I believe, getting the ball. That's Greg Mason, the fullback in the Wishbone
They got a
from
couple
Massaponax.
good kids to run in that fullback spot.
He's the one running back he's up close to 200 pounds. He's a pretty good sized young man.
All right, 3rd and 3, big play early in this ball game. 3rd and 3 for the Panthers. Shuck is the quarterback. Man in motion. He gives the ball off, and he's got a first down and more. He's at the 30, 20, 15, and finally brought down on the 10-yard line. And the guy making the stop for Louisa was Isaiah Haywood. He almost took that one to the house.
Yeah, he almost took it to the house, is right. He broke that play off of the right side of their offense, left side of Louisa's defense, and off to the races he went. And he moved the ball down to,
First and 10 for the
looks like
Panthers
they are
from
on about the 11-yard line.
Louisa created some down blocks, guys, and got some good kick-out blocks and had a big seam.
Yeah, so about a 38-yard gain on that last run for the Panthers.
Man in motion. Hands off again, and this time it's Wiggins with the football, and he's down inside the 10, down to about the 7. Gain of 4, 2nd and 6 coming up for the Panthers. An impressive opening drive for Massaponax.
Yeah, and to your point before the game, Tim, this is when it becomes really important for the Louisa defensive front to play assignment football.
Yes, it is.
Shuck is the quarterback. Massaponax out up to the line of scrimmage.
And Byron, you can still play assignment football, and they gain 3 or 4 yards, and they're gonna run that play 4 times 3 is 12. You know.
Yep.
Shuck under center. Hands the ball off, and he's dropped down around the 5-yard line. And the ball carrier was again number 6, William Wiggins. And now we're looking at a 3rd and 4 from about the 5-yard line. 3rd and 4 from Massaponax down on the Louisa 5-yard line early in the first quarter.
All right, and each time Massaponax has done the quick handoff right up the middle, Louisa's defense did pretty well. So let's see if they widen out a little bit with this carry.
Shook the quarterback under center. Man in motion, rolling out to throw it. Looking, throwing it, and he's got it, but he's not in the end zone. He's out of bounds over the 1-yard line.
And the pass is complete.
Yeah, that guy came in run-2 motion, just drifted out in the flats. And he
Malik
didn't get picked
Turner
up.
Gutierrez was the receiver on that one. 1st and goal for the Panthers.
First and goal from the Panthers.
Yeah, that's a big play for Massaponax.
Yep.
That's one thing Massaponax did last week. They showed they could pass the ball against Glen Allen.
Yeah, and you know, that's one thing Coach Gusto was talking to me about last night. He said, we can't fall asleep. He said, we got to make sure we still play some pass because they will throw it.
All right. We got a substitution coming in for Louisa.
I don't know whether that's an equipment situation
I think
or quite what that is, but looked like maybe what it was.
All right. 1st and goal from the 1. Handoff is, and he's in the end zone for a touchdown.
Oh, guys, they was in a power island.
Onyx on the 1-yard. Donovan Phillips.
All right, that comes at the 8-minute and 45-second mark in the opening quarter. So a pretty efficient drive, and as we said, guys, a little surprised at that kickoff because they started with the ball at their 44-yard line, so a 56-yard drive.
Extra point. Looks good, is good.
All right.
Is up and good.
All right, Massaponax goes up 7-0 early in this one. And the big play was that 38-yard run, Baron.
Yep, exactly right. They broke the line of scrimmage, and it looked like he was going to take it to the house. They were able to drag him down, but yep, got the big run play when they needed it. So Louisa's something they haven't faced this in the first couple games, guys. They fall behind right away.
Yep.
All right.
This is where you see what a young team is made of, guys. You know, tonight. I mean, I think Louisa's young kids are going to grow up a lot tonight, which is going to also carry over. I think you said they had a bye next week.
They got a bye.
And then they start the district play.
Right.
This game will carry over huge for these young kids tonight.
Yeah, because no matter what happens tonight, Coach Patrick's got 2 weeks to prepare them and get over what happens tonight and the mistakes they made tonight and get them ready for the Jefferson District.
Who do they open up with in the Jefferson?
Weston Albemarle.
Weston.
And Weston hadn't won a game. And Weston's off tonight.
So I'm sure their coaches are probably here watching this somewhere.
All right, getting ready for the kickoff now from the Panthers. Long kick. He's in the end zone.
I think they were all sides. They're going to have to back up 5, I believe.
That would be a key because he put it in the end zone and Louisa would be starting on the 20-yard line.
Yeah, he definitely put that in the end zone.
Yep.
5-yard penalty.
Yep.
Moves the ball back to the 35-yard line.
That's a costly penalty there.
It is.
Yep. It's a 5-yard penalty, but we'll see what happens on this kickoff, and they end up costing them a lot more than that.
Exactly.
All right. Louisa would have had the ball on the 20, but with the offside, he's got to kick again from a 35-yard line. The kicker from Massaponax, Jacob Lynch. He got quite a leg.
Yeah, he's got a pretty good leg, too.
Yep.
Yeah, that ball actually carried probably 2-3 yards, couple yards into the end zone.
Haywood is deep for Louisa, and the other deep man for Louisa is Samuel George. All right, here we go again. Massaponax kicking off again.
All right, so this one from their 35-yard line.
Short kick this time. Anderson runs into his own man, makes the catch, but runs into his own man. But actually, Louisa gained 12 yards on that exchange of kicks. They're going to take over on the 32.
That's where the guy that he ran into, Dickie's got to call him off.
Right.
You know, I used to tell my guys, I don't want you backing up. If you're on that line, let the guy feel that, because he might could have picked up some yards running that football right there.
Well, and as that ball was starting to come down and I saw the front guy backing up, I said, oh, goodness gracious, this ball's liable to end up on the ground.
All right, here come the Lions for their first offensive player tonight.
All right, so that 5-yard penalty ends up netting 12 yards
That's
for
right.
Louisa.
That's right.
Well, they take over at their own 32-yard line for their first offensive drive of the night.
Jackson hands the ball off, and he goes nowhere.
All right, and that was ball carrier slipped down that time, and that was Creasy on the carry, and looked like he put his foot in the ground, went to cut, and slipped, and he lost 2 yards. So that's going to bring up 2nd and 12. The ball's at the 30-yard line.
All right.
Massaponax's D-line, Byron, did a good job of getting some penetration.
Absolutely.
Jackson gives the ball off to Creasy again. Creasy didn't get much this time, got a little bit. Got back to the original line of scrimmage, maybe gained a yard from the original line. We're looking at 3rd and 9 across the way.
And Tim, in talking to Coach Patrick before the game, he said that Massaponax's defense does a lot of blitzing. They run a lot of stunts and things, and so again, that young offensive line for Louisa, we got to see if they're up to the task.
All right, let's see if they're out here. 3rd and 9.
See, Byron, they got 3 down linemen. They got 1 walked up, but they 5 linebackers in there.
And the ball carrier got the snap, and didn't get the first down. Louisa going to be forced to punt the football. And Jackson was the ball carrier. 3 yards, it's 4th and 6, and the Lions, I would think, would be punting the football from their own 35-yard line. Well, let's see what's going on now. We got
Let's.
Timeout on the field.
what?
And I'm wondering now, guys, if we're going to have some type of weather
Heat
situation
delay?
here.
We got a weather delay?
There's the AD out there.
Well, you can't hardly. The sun's shining. It doesn't even look like a cloud anywhere. Unless they're just having to take a water break.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please. At this time, we are currently under a lightning delay. Again, lightning has been spotted
Oh, Lord.
in the immediate area.
They're going to make them clear the stadium.
Attention all fans. Attention all fans. At this time, we are currently under a lightning delay. Lightning has been spotted in the immediate area. We are required to evacuate the stadium at this time. We ask that everyone please report to your vehicles.
What exactly is it? Is it the weather?
It's a lightning.
Yeah,
it's a
lightning.
delay.
Lightning?
Yeah, lightning.
Yeah, it's a lightning delay.
So it'll be a 20-minute, at least a minimum of 20-minute
Again,
delay.
attention all fans. At this time, we are currently under a lightning delay.
Well, that's what's really strange, because if you look back in the west, the sun looks like it's setting beautiful. You don't see any clouds around. But when they walked up down the field, I knew it was something. But it's a lightning delay, and
Lightning delay.
Into social media where you can search #Ponics for.
Byron, I think that was one thing you and I talked about coming over here. We hope we didn't have a lightning delay, because they can be
Yeah.
a long time before you go back to playing football.
#Ponics.
We had a game over here
Throughout the
a
delay.
couple years ago that had a lightning strike with 20 seconds left in the first half. And Massaponax was beating, I think it was Woodgrove or somebody out in Northern Virginia. So everybody has to clear the stadium. Teams had to go in. Well, the coach of Woodgrove goes up to the officials during the lightning delay, says, "You know what? It's almost halftime. Lightning delay. I think we just gonna go home." They left.
And they left?
Yeah, they left. They didn't even finish the game. Of course, it went down as a win for Ponix, and I think it was like 28 to nothing at the time.
Okay.
And the coach said, "We've had enough tonight.
We're
gonna get on a bus, go home."
We're going on up the road.
Yeah.
All right, for our listeners, we got a lightning delay. We'll be going off the air. We'll probably be off the air for at least 30 minutes, I would think. I think they got to wait 30 minutes before they can get back out there, and then it's going to take them a little while to get loose. But I would say we'll be off for at least 30 minutes, maybe longer, because you can't really see the storm from the press box, and if it moves closer, we could have a long lightning delay.
The lower entrance behind Treasure House if you need to enter the building.
So again, the procedure on
Alright.
this is that when this occurs, they basically tell people, not ask, but they tell people to leave the stadium
Right.
and go to their
Yeah.
car.
Right.
And if they don't abide by that, you'll see deputies start to go around and tell people, "You got to get out of here."
Right.
#Ponics
Right. So it's about 7:17 right now. So I would say
We appreciate.
We'll be at least,
at least 20 minutes and probably more like 30.
I'd say we're at least 30 minutes.
Well,
And if you try to get us and we're not on, it's because we're still in the lightning delay. I mean, it can last an hour. It can last a really long time, depending on how fast the storm is moving.
and the thing about it is, if they see another strike now,
Yeah.
it'll be another 20 minutes
another
from that
20.
time.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Yep. All right, Andrew Wolfalk, a great technician who's always hangs in there with us and really good to us, is going to take us off the air, and hopefully by 8 o'clock we will be back on the air. Good night, all. For the time being, the score, Massaponax 7 and Louisa nothing in the first quarter with 7 minutes and 21 seconds to go. All right, we're back on the air here at Massaponax High School. The score is 7-0. We got 7 minutes and 21 seconds to go in the first quarter, and we had a long lightning delay, probably over an hour, maybe an hour and 10 or 15 minutes. We're getting ready now to play football, and Louisa's going for it on 4th and 5 from the 42. Yep, they're not putting it. They're going to go for it. Well, maybe they're trying to draw
sides, Dickie.
Yep. Trying to draw Massaponax offside. Yep.
Yeah.
And now I think, well, let's see.
He's going to still try to draw them all sides.
Yep. And it's not working, so.
Yeah, he'll call timeout.
All right, let's see.
Got to delay a game now.
Yep. Got delay a game. Did he call timeout?
No.
Yep, delay a game.
5-yard penalty.
Well, Coach, I'm sure over the years you have been in a few of these lightning delays.
Yep.
You never quite know what to expect when you have a long delay, do you?
No, you don't, but you use that time to do some coaching. And I was just telling Andrew earlier, you know, he gave Coach Gusto a chance to make a few adjustments, you know, on that defense.
Yep. All right, Albertson back to punt.
All right, so Louisa will be punting from her own 31-yard line. The punt's off, pretty much straight up in the air. It hits, takes a little bit of a forward roll, and it's going to be downed at the 47, 48-yard line of Massaponax.
Where Massaponax takes over, 1st and 10.
All right, they're going to have the ball on their own 48. Massaponax second offensive possession of the night. Scored the first time, a 56-yard scoring drive. Phillips scored on a 1-yard run, and a 38-yard run was the big play of that drive.
Short punt, giving them another short field to work with. They're going up top on first.
He got a man open, overthrew him. And he was open. He had a couple steps on the defender.
And the pass falls. Incomplete. Pay attention, all fans. We still have
It's a pretty smart play if you think about it. Massaponax to come out first play, throw it while they still maybe a little stiff and he loses.
Absolutely. And
he was open.
And he was. He was 3 steps behind the Louisa defender and just overthrew him by a couple of steps.
Yep. Just didn't quite get him the ball.
Once again, Massaponax starts with excellent field position at their own 47-yard line, looking at a 2nd and 10.
We'll get to dive right here, probably, Byron.
Yep.
Good.
Full back up the middle, and they stop him right at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
And Louisa has done a good job so far on the dive. So they stuffed him for about a 1-yard gain. That's going to bring up 3rd and about a long 8.
It was their version, Byron, of the power play that hurt them in the first half. It wasn't the option stuff. It was just the power.
Right.
Donovan Phillips was the ball carrier, and we're looking at 3rd and 7 across the way. Clock running. We're down to 5:55 to go in the first quarter. You just joined us with a long lightning delay. Shook under center. Pitches the ball out. He's got some running room. He's at the 50. He's at the 45, and he's got a Massaponax first down.
He got outside quick on that edge, on that quick pitch.
They outflanked Louisa very, very quickly that time.
Yeah, they sure did.
And I believe the ball carrier that time was Malik Turner Gutierrez. 1st and 10, Massaponax on the Louisa 40-yard line. Panthers up to the line of scrimmage. Now they get set. All right, wishbone set. Handoff goes to the fullback.
No, quarterback kept it,
He kept it.
That's the first time tonight he's kept it.
Yep. He fooled me, and he fooled Louisa's defense, too.
Yeah, he sure did.
Quarterback Ian Shook with the keeper.
Ian Shook, the ball carrier.
Well, he had a hole where you could drive a truck through.
Yep. 1st and 10, Massaponax on the Louisa 15-yard line. That's where they put it down.
can't fall asleep on your assignments.
From the 15-yard line.
Shook is under center. And that time
He kept it again.
He
to
kept
the
it
right
himself.
side, yeah.
Faked it and kept it himself, and
gained about 4 yards that time.
Second down and 6.
2nd and 6 for the Panthers. Another impressive first quarter drive by Massaponax.
all right, the ball's down at about Louisa's 11-yard line. Second offensive possession for Massaponax, and they are threatening again.
Him through.
Quarterback sneak and touchdown. He's in the end zone for a touchdown. Shook on an 8-yard run. This looked like a quarterback sneak, Coach.
That's all it was. Right up the middle.
All right, Massaponax quickly up now 13-0. Shook scores from 8 yards out.
And that score comes with 4 minutes and 21 seconds left in tonight's first quarter.
Extra point coming. All right, ball is down, kick is up. Kick looks good.
And the kick is good.
Lynch
So let's take another look at that.
with the extra point, and we have a 14-0 Massaponax lead, and we're still got 4 minutes and 21 seconds to go in the first quarter.
This offense has got to pick up a few first downs for Louisa and give his defense a little bit of a break. They've been on the field pretty much the whole first quarter.
Absolutely.
And the offense hasn't really put much together. They need to, put something together to give those kids a break.
Yeah, those first 2 drives were too easy for Massaponax.
Well, these young kids are getting put to the test tonight by a veteran Massaponax squad, Dickie.
Yeah, offensively, Massaponax looks very crisp. They look a step quicker than Louisa does defensively so far. So this is, to your point, Tim, this is a really big offensive series coming up for Louisa.
Yeah, they need to pick up a few first downs, if nothing else, to flip the field.
And Massaponax, 2 possessions, Dickie, and they've started at their own 44-yard line and at their own 47-yard line.
Yep.
So they've had excellent field position for both times they've had the ball.
All right, let's see. He's put it in the end zone once. Next time looks like a short kick.
They go
It is an
on
onside kick. And the ball is loose, and Massaponax.
Nope.
No, it's still loose.
It's still
Louisa
loose.
finally picked it up, I think. Nope. Let's see who got it.
I don't think they can give that to Massaponax. He was out of bounds when he covered that.
Out of bounds near midfield.
I think Louisa's going to keep the ball, my opinion.
Massaponax tried an onside kick. Louisa looked like they had it. The old pigskin got away from them. It looked like Massaponax had it. The ball went out of bounds and nobody had it, so Louisa gets it.
Exactly. Thing like a hot potato going through there.
That definitely was a hot potato. Nobody wanted that thing.
All right, Louisa's going to take over. Let's see where they put the ball down.
Louisa takes over.
On their own 49-yard line.
Well, when your defense is dominating an offense like Massaponax's defense is, you can do things like that.
Absolutely.
Would you like the best seat in the house?
Until Louisa can prove that they can move the football on them.
Onto the field, contact RVFOA by using rvfoa.org.
Jackson throws the ball over on the wing and it's incomplete. Threw it to the back on a kind of a flare pass out to the sidelines, but it's incomplete.
That's close to being a lateral, guys, I'm telling you.
I tell you, I was looking right down the line of scrimmage, and I said, "Oh goodness! If he hadn't thrown it out in front of him, the receiver, it would have been a lateral."
Exactly.
2nd and 10 for the Lions. So far, this one's been all Massaponax. 14-0. We're still in the first quarter. Jackson going to throw. Throws ball, and it's incomplete. He had a man open.
Had a man open.
Pass was low and incomplete.
Jackson's pass falls incomplete, intended for number 11, Jaden Davis.
One of the issues that this young Massaponax offense is going to have is when you play a 3-5 defense, you got the nose guard covered, covers up your center. Your 2 tackles are usually lined up on tackles. You got 5 linebackers, and you don't know where they're coming from.
Right.
And unless you're very disciplined and step into your spots on offense, you're not going to pick up his blocks.
Not going to pick them all up. That's exactly right. All right, back to pass again is Louisa.
I mean, he had 2 in his face right there, Byron.
Yep.
Yep, he did, and he was just really had to kind of get rid of the ball a little sooner than he wanted to.
Sure did.
And luckily, it fell to the turf and not into Massaponax' hands. All right, so Louisa had good field position at their own 49-yard line, but passed the ball 3 times and picks up no yardage at all. So they're looking at 4th and 10, and they are in punt formation.
And your defense is right back on the field.
Yep.
That's an issue.
All right. Albertson to punt. High kick. Bounces around the 30. Takes a good Louisa bounce inside the 20 and goes with a bounce on about the 18-yard line. And that's where Massaponax will take over with their worst field position of the night. Had 2 scoring drives. One started on the 44. The other one started on the 48.
The Massaponax Athletics Department will
And we got, still got 3 minutes and 51 seconds. Those 3 passes, Louisa didn't take much time off the clock.
No, they didn't.
All right. Shook the quarterback. And he gets the play from the sidelines.
The ball belongs to the Panthers. 1st and 10 from
and now we got a timeout on the field.
Yeah, he wasn't on the field. I don't know what the quarterback was thinking. He come out there really late.
All right. Now the Panthers huddle up over on the side. And Louisa needs a stop, Tim.
They do. If they could find a way to get a stop right here, they could probably come out of this with some decent field position and maybe give the offense. But of course, you know they had decent field position right there on the kickoff.
Yeah.
Just couldn't do anything with it.
All right.
And Tim, on Louisa's last offensive possession, and you addressed this before the game. I mean, the pass they threw on 1st down was a pretty safe pass.
It was.
They just didn't execute it.
Yeah, you didn't execute.
All right. Panthers out on the field now. All right. And let's see. Quarterback going under center. Shook the quarterback. Man in motion. Pitches the ball out there. This play worked last time, and it works again.
It's going to work again.
30, and he's up close to the 35-yard line on that quick pitch to the outside.
Ball's carried by Turner Gutierrez.
And the same ball carrier, Malik Turner Gutierrez, the ball carrier again for another Massaponax 1st down.
All right, so that's a 12-yard gain.
Well, they getting on that edge quick when they that quick pitch on it.
Yeah, that pitch gets on out there, but yeah, absolutely. They are on the edge before Louisa has any chance to adapt to it.
He pitches it this time on the option.
Yep.
He's got running room again. He's at the
They're
40.
gonna call a flag, blocking it back.
Yep, we got a block in the back.
Yep.
That's going to bring it back. Yep. You can see it right directly in front of us.
Gutierrez with the carry. Penalty flag on the play.
Well, that's the first time they've pitched it off of that tonight.
Yep.
Last series, they had the quarterback keep it a couple times. That was the first time that he'd kept it all night. Now they've pitched it tonight for the first time.
All right. That's going to set them back.
Byron's an offense that attacks different places on the field, you know.
Absolutely.
And, you know, they're pretty efficient at all those places that they're attacking, too.
Yeah, Massaponax has been very impressive offensively so far.
Now 7 yards to go.
1st and 15. I'm sorry, 1st and about 7.
And about
after,
7.
After they take the penalty. Penalty was from the point of the infraction, and that's the reason we're looking at a 1st and 7. All right, then a wishbone set this time. Man in motion. Hand the ball off to the fullback. He's got running room. He's up close to midfield.
Ball carried by number 40, Joe Sanders.
And the ball carrier that time was Joe Saunders for Massaponax.
See what they did that time. They used that motion to make Louisa think he'd run outside on that pitch, and he reversed and give it on the dive.
All right, so that was a gain of close to 15 yards, and that moves it up to the 49-yard line where it's 1st and 10.
Hand off again to the fullback. And that time it was
across midfield down to the Lions 48-yard line. Gain of 3 brings 2nd down and 7.
Second, and we'll call it 6 across the way.
Won't be surprised this time if they don't pitch it off of that quick pitch.
Nope, he's going to throw it. Shook
Got a
downfield,
guy
got a
wide
man open. And we got pass interference.
Yep.
That's what they call pass interference on Louisa.
Kind of late flag.
Penalty flag on the play.
But you know what? You tell your kids, at this level, that's not a spot foul.
Yeah.
So
that's
you know
right.
what? It's better than giving up a touchdown.
Yeah, if you're beaten, exactly right.
Yep.
And he was beaten.
Yeah, he was beaten.
Yeah. All right. So it's a penalty for pass interference, which is a 15-yard penalty from the line of scrimmage in high school football. A lot different than it is in the pro game.
Yep.
Massaponax got a 1st and 10 on their own 39-yard, the Louisa 39-yard line. Handoff.
Quarterback kept it.
Kept it.
Then he pitched it.
And they stopped him close to the line of scrimmage. Shook.
And he's not a big kid. He only weighs 150 or 60 pounds, but he pulled through a couple of tackles that time.
Chris John.
For a 2-yard gain.
2nd and 8.
All right, line of scrimmage now is at about the 31-yard line of Louisa.
All right, Massaponax moving around on offense. They got a wide out to the right this time. Fullback behind the quarterback. Man in motion. They give the ball off to the fullback. And he got close to a 1st down.
Joe Sanders with the carry. He's inside the 25.
And that is Joe Saunders again, the ball carrier. And we're looking at 3rd and 1.
3rd down and 1 for the Panthers.
All right, up to the line of scrimmage again. Come the Panthers. Louisa drew. I think Louisa jumped offside.
There's the whistle.
Yep. They threw the flag, and Louisa's defensive line moved. Let's see if the penalties against the Lions. "21 seconds to go in the 1st quarter. If you just joined us, that's right. This is a live broadcast, and we're still in the 1st quarter. A long lightning delay. All right, 1st down, Massaponax. And this game so far has been all Massaponax. They have dominated. Now they got a 1st and 10 from the Louisa 20-yard line, and they're up 14-0. Now they're changing some personnel now. All right. And we're going to have a new quarterback in there, I believe. by Massaponax. Looks like number 12 is quarterbacking on this play. Gabe Newby Morse. Shook came off, went to the sidelines. All right. Morris still calling the play at the line of scrimmage. And now I think we're going to have a timeout and the clock ran out. Clock ran out. That's the end of the first quarter here tonight for Massaponax High School. And the score at the 1 quarter is Massaponax 14 and Louisa nothing in a quarter that Massaponax completely dominated. The Lions got to find a way to stop this Massaponax attack, Coach.
Yep. Yeah, they right now are, Massaponax has got them on their heels.
Yes.
You know, because they're attacking inside, outside, off tackle, throwing a pass in here and there to keep them honest, and they really got them on their heels.
And basically everything Massaponax has done has worked.
It's worked, yeah.
Yeah, they, without any question, they are controlling the line of scrimmage right now and winning that battle.
And when that guy starts in motion, that's a whole different look than the dive look.
Yeah.
Because he's reversing, acting like he's going to pitch it, and then gives it on it.
Right.
That's different than stepping down and riding it or keeping it. It's
Yep.
a whole different look.
Yep. Yep.
Because the quick pitch worked, so now they're using that to set up the give.
Yeah, if you got one play that's working, that can set up something else for you.
Absolutely.
All right, first play of the second quarter.
And we're ready to resume action. The ball belongs to the Panthers, 1st and 10.
All right, here come the Panthers over on the field. It's really kind of unusual. They actually call the play at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
Never get in a huddle.
No.
All right, this time in a wishbone set. Man goes in motion. Hand the ball off to the fullback, and he's down to about the 5-yard line.
Ball carried by number 40, Joe Sanders.
That Byron, that's their patented,
He's down to the 14-yard
veer
line.
look right
Gain of
there.
5
Yep.
brings second down and 5 to go.
All right, so actually the ball is on about the 15-yard line, 2nd and 5 coming up for Massaponax. They are churning out the yardage against Lions. This would be a great place for the Lions to come up with a defensive stop.
Yeah, Aiden Brewer made this tackle for Louisa on the last play. 2nd and 5.
Shook back in there, Dickie,
Yep,
quarterback.
Shook back at quarterback. Wishbone set, man in motion. Hand the ball off, and he is going to go in for a touchdown.
Wow.
Touchdown, Massaponax!
He fell down in the end zone, but that's Joe Saunders got that touchdown for Massaponax. He carried the ball 3 or 4 times on that drive, and he goes in from 15 yards out for the TD. "15-yard touchdown run, and that drive for Massaponax started on the Louisa 18-yard line, and he marched 82 yards on that drive. Extra point coming. Bad snap. Lynch running with it. Now he goes down on a knee. PAT is no good, and Massaponax has a 20-0 lead.
And the point after is no good. Well, let's take another
And
look
we've
at
still
that.
got 11 minutes and 17 seconds to go in the first half.
Number 2, your score.
It's been all Massaponax tonight.
Louisa, 0.
All right, so what we need, Dickie, to happen is in reverse is what happened last week. Louisa had a 21-0 lead, and,
That's right.
and when we transitioned to the second quarter, 28 seconds later, it was 21-14.
That's right. The one difference I'd have to say, though, last week Louisa jumped out to a 21-0 lead, but they didn't dominate Cortland like
Right.
Massaponax is dominating Louisa this
You're
first half.
exactly right.
Yeah, I mean, Louisa's had 2 offensive possessions, guys, and I'm not sure they've got. I mean,
I don't think
2,
they got
3 and outs. I don't think
right.
they've gained a yard.
And last
They
week
ain't got a first down.
last week they got one, remember, on a fumble
Yeah.
recovery, and I think they scored one on a long pass.
Right.
Yep. This has been all Massaponax here in the first quarter. But things can change in a hurry. They changed in a hurry last week.
Well, this is the exact opposite of what it was here last year.
Yeah.
Louisa jumped out early, and then Massaponax came back and at the end and had a chance to tie that game up.
That's exactly right.
That was a nice kickoff into the end zone. He can't run it out. He was in the end zone when he caught the ball.
But this momentum took him into the end zone, Dickie. If your momentum takes you into the end zone and the ball's caught out in the playing field, you can run it out.
So he's saying that his momentum carried him in that the ball never reached the end zone.
No, he caught the ball out.
He caught it on the 1 or 2 yard line.
And then
Right.
his momentum took him in, and he ran it out. Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
He was backing up when he caught it, and then stepped about a step into the end zone.
Yeah, that's how that works.
All right, so the ball is going, instead of on the 20, it's going to be on the 16.
They need to start out by picking up first down or two and see if they can get something going offensively.
Jackson gives the ball off to Creasy, and Creasy got maybe a couple of yards. That's about all.
He almost broke that tackle.
Yep. Well, why they put it down, he didn't get anything. Got back to the line of scrimmage as far as he got. 2nd and 10 for Louisa.
Yeah, it sure looked like he'd gained at least 1 to 2 yards.
I thought
anyway.
he did too, Byron. I thought he gained a couple of yards, but they marked the ball down right at the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10.
Whew.
Hand off this time, and he tries to turn the corner, and he does pick up 5 or 6 yards. Didn't look like he was going to get that much.
Yeah, he did
Got most of that on his own.
Did a good job, and you're exactly right. He got that on his own because it looked like he was going to get pulled down for no loss, or maybe even a no gain, rather, or possibly a yard loss.
Haywood was the ball carrier for Louisa.
Ponix is bringing backers on every play, and they almost took the handoff.
Gain of 5, and with 5 yards to go, it is.
You said they're playing a 3-5, Coach.
They're playing a 3-5. They got 3 down linemen and 5 linebackers, and they're coming in all different kinds of directions.
You don't usually see many teams with 5 linebackers, do you?
No. Mm-mm.
And we got another penalty. Let's see what this is. Jackson was going to throw it. The referees blow it dead.
At that time, the linebacker into the boundary actually walked up on the line to make it a 4-man front, but, that's because he was probably into the boundary on the short side.
First down, Louisa. I believe that's Louisa's first down of the night. 5-yard penalty gave him a first down. All right. Lions up to the line of scrimmage. Got the ball on the 20, their own 26-yard line. 1st and 10. See if they can get something going on offense. Jackson rolling out. Jackson being pressured. Jackson throws the ball over on the side and makes the catch and is knocked through the bounds. Gained a couple of yards. That's about all he gained on that play.
Shaheed Jackson's pass is complete to number 11, Jaden Davis.
Jaden
I'm
Davis.
not sure if he gained a yard.
No, he didn't. Where they mark it, he didn't gain anything. He caught the pass, but
Second down and 10.
again, I thought he had gained a couple of yards.
They didn't give him any forward progress.
Nope. 2nd and 10.
And even on that play, Tim, there was pressure coming. He was about a step away from getting pulled down for a 5-yard loss.
Jackson the ball carrier, and he gets across the 30 out to about the 31-yard line.
Jackson keeps it.
That's one of their better runs of the night.
Yep.
In his first half.
Yeah, he stumbled a little bit that time. If he could have kept his feet for another step or two, he definitely had some room.
All right, we're looking at 3rd and 4 across the way. Jackson picked up 6 yards. Lions need a sustained drive here. Down 21-0. Man in motion. They hike the ball up to the up man, and he doesn't get the first down. He gained a couple of yards, and that's all.
Yeah, that didn't fool anybody.
And the ball carrier brought down at the
Adam.
4-yard line.
Adam Mills, the ball carrier for Louisa, and we're looking at 4th and 2. And I think they're going to go for it.
And with 2 yards to go,
And if they're going to give the ball to Massaponax, an awful good field position if they don't make it, but they haven't been able to stop them tonight. So
Right.
I can see where he's going for
Yeah,
it.
exactly. I mean,
Yep.
at this point, what do you really got to lose?
Right. Jackson
He
got
get-
the first down. Yeah, he got the first down.
Yep.
The gamble by Coach Will Patrick played it off. And I would agree with you, Coach. He didn't have much to lose.
No, exactly. 20-0.
Yeah.
Your defense hadn't really stopped them. You
Right,
know, so
right.
why not go for it?
All right, 1st and 10. Louisa on the Massaponax 38-yard line. And we're down to 7:30 and counting to go here on the second quarter. Jackson gives the ball off, and he gets across the 40 up to about the 42, and I believe that was Creasy.
They changed up a little bit, Diggett. They walked the 2 outside backers up to make it a 5-man front, and so they were a 5-3 instead of a 3-5 in that play.
Actually, the ball carrier was number 9. That's Seabury.
All right, guys, so the Lions have moved the ball from their own 16-yard line out to the 42-yard line on this drive. And looking at about a second and long 5 here, so they've got a couple first downs, starting to show a little offensive production on this drive.
Jackson keeps the ball and picks up about 3 more.
No, I don't think that was Jackson. Was it?
across the
I think that was Seabury.
No, it was Seabury.
Yeah.
9.
Yep.
2 yards to go.
Seabury picked up. We're looking at 3rd and 2 from the 46-yard line. All right.
All right, Lions up to the line of scrimmage.
Handoff goes to Seabury, I believe, and I think he's close to the first down. I believe he got it. Let's see where they mark it.
Yeah, they're moving the chains
Yeah,
over there,
they're-
Diggett.
And that'll be enough for a first down.
Another Louisa first down. All right. Jackson is not in there at the present time. Seabury and the other quarterback for Louisa
First and
is
10 from the
no, it is Jackson. Jackson's in there.
Yeah.
He's back in there, quarterbacking. Jackson gives the ball off. He got running room. He's at the 40. He's down the sidelines at 30, 20, 15, 10, 5. Louisa line, touchdown.
touchdown.
Haywood. Would he
What?
take it 54 yards?
52 yards.
52-yard run by Isaac Haywood.
Boy, he got on that edge quick, didn't he?
And I tell you what, I was just thinking the same thing. It's hard to coach speed, isn't it?
It is.
It
I
looked
mean-
like 2 guys had the angle on him, and I tell you what, he put his head down and churned, and
Yeah.
they didn't get him.
Nope.
5:35 to go in the second quarter. All right, just extra point. And they jumped offside. Massaponax jumped offside. That's a long drive, too, Byron. 84-yard drive for Louisa.
Well, that's just what the doctor ordered, wasn't
Yeah.
it, guys?
Yeah.
I mean, that was big.
Prior to the snap.
Well, it's like you said, what the doctor ordered, that was a shot in the arm because, you know, they hadn't had any much positive happen to them up till that drive. So now they know they can move the ball.
Right, right. Ball is down, kick is up, kick looks good. Kick is good. Albertson's PA2 is good. And we got a 21-20 to 7 ball game.
Remaining in quarter number 2.
Now the Louisa defense needs to rise up.
Yep.
Louisa.
The offense has shown they can move the ball. Now let's see if we can get a defensive stop.
Yeah, because up until that drive, no ifs, ands, buts, or maybes, Massaponax had totally dominated
Right.
the football game.
Yep. Matter of fact, Louisa never had a first down to this possession
Till
right
this-
here.
Till that drive.
Right,
That's
that
correct.
drive. Yep. All right, the Lions were
Yeah, I was going to say, Dickie, actually on that drive, there were 2 other running plays where it looked like the Louisa back just got tripped up just a little and stumbled a little bit. or they would have had a couple other big plays in that drive.
Yep.
So, yeah, that was an impressive drive.
When Haywood turned the corner, there was no catching him.
He turned that corner. It was Katie barred the door. I'll tell you right now. He hit that sideline. He was gone.
All right, let's see if they're going to kick it short or kick it deep this time. Looks like where the way they're placing the ball. Well, let's see. I thought he was going to place. Yep, it looks like he's going to kick it. Now he takes a step back, so he may be kicking it deep. Yep. All right. Here we go. Albertson kicking off. Yep, he kicked it deep. I don't know that he's going to get it in the end zone, though. Breaking down on about the 3-yard line. And he runs into his own man and finally is knocked down by the Lions.
And the kickoff return across the 20 to the 22-yard line. And that's where the Panthers take over. 1st and 10.
One of the Lions in on that stop
Hey, Panther fans, keep up with everything.
was number 23, and that is Aiden Shaw.
Game in a lightning delay? Are there
All right.
changes to other schedules, scores, or photos or videos
Panthers
you
take
wanna
over
see?
on their own
Survey Panthers Pride by searching
26-yard
hashtag
line.
Social media posts, the official hashtag of Massaponax.
All right, handoff. It breaks outside across the 25 up to about the 27-yard line.
Ball carried by number 6, Will Wiggins.
Donovan Nelson, one of the Lions in on the stop. He gained 5 yards. We're looking at a second and we'll call it 6 across the way. Gain of 4. Drive actually started on the 21. All right, Massaponax at the line of scrimmage, calling the play. Shook. Gives the ball off. He's got running room. He's the 30. He's close to midfield. Brought down on the 45-yard line.
Ian Shook with the keeper.
Shook kept the ball that time.
Got some flags coming out. I don't know who that's going to be on.
All right.
Got some unsportsmanlike. I don't know who's going to be on, though.
Penalty flag on the play.
All right, let's see what we got. The referees are conferring out there. Still talking about it.
Maybe all sudden, maybe.
We got 4 minutes and 31 seconds to go in that first half. All right, let's see what we got. Referee walking toward the Massaponax sideline now, and they're going to talk some more.
Well, they're moving the chains on the other sideline, guys.
So that, yeah, they're moving them. All right.
Might be all sudden.
Yeah, that's what he called.
Yeah.
After the play,
Offsetting.
unsportsmanlike conduct against both teams. Ball's going to be spotted at the 44-yard line. The result of the play is good for another Massaponax first down. First and 10 for the Panthers.
All right.
From the 44.
First and 10, Massaponax on their own 44-yard line.
And what Louisa's got to shore up here is that Massaponax is getting to their edge very quickly.
And right up the middle that time.
Another good gain on first down for Massaponax,
Yep.
5 or 6 yards.
Will Wiggins across the 50 to the 49.
Ball carrier that time for Massaponax was Wiggins.
Gain of 7 brings second down.
Second and 3. Again, Massaponax calling the play from the line of scrimmage. They do not go in a huddle. Shook, gonna throw it. looking downfield, throwing it downfield, and it is incomplete. Nice defensive play that time for Louisa. And that man making that play for the Lions was number 23, and that's Aiden Shaw. And he's a sophomore. He made a nice defensive play for Louisa.
Come up limping a little bit.
Yep, sure is.
And actually a pretty well thrown ball by Shook that time, but a better defensive play.
Third down and 3.
All right, 3rd and 3. This time they got 2 wideouts to the left. Shook is going to be under center. Man in motion. Gives the ball off to the fullback. He's got a first down and more. He's at the 40 and knocked through the bounds around the 37-yard line. Wiggins again, the ball carrier. Another Massaponax first down, and Louisa got a host of substitutes coming in the ball game now, Byron.
Yeah, I think they're just trying to get some fresh legs in there maybe for a couple plays.
Gavin Anderson's in there for Louisa.
First and 10 from the Lions 36.
Shook, gonna throw it. Throws it out to the flanker, and he's got another good gain for Massaponax.
Massaponax has got some young men that play the skill positions. Has got some pretty good quick speed. You know, they got some pretty good wheels.
Christian Johnson there will stop that time for the Lions.
All right, 2nd and 1. The ball is on Louisa's 27-yard line. And Tim, we were talking earlier, this right here opens your playbook up, doesn't it?
Sure it
You
does.
can do whatever you want to do.
Hand off, and he's hit in the backfield. He breaks the tackle. They had him in the backfield, stopped, and he broke the tackle. A nice run. Wiggins looked like he was going to be stopped for a loss.
That was a good run by him, Dickie.
Yep.
Had him for a 3 or 4 yard loss.
Yeah.
And that would have been a big defensive play for Louisa. Massaponax quickly up to the line of scrimmage now.
You got to wrap up, Byron. You gotta wrap
Absolutely.
people up.
And we got motion. All right. I think we got a penalty against Massaponax.
I think it might be on Louisa for being in neutral zone, Dickie.
Yep, you're right, Tim. That's what it was.
The 5-yard penalty moves the ball down to the 11-yard line. It remains first down, and now 5 yards to go.
1st and 5 from the 11. 2:24 to go in the first half. 21-7, Massaponax.
And it certainly goes without saying, fellas, this would be a huge defensive stop if Louisa can keep them out of the end zone right here before halftime.
There's that quick pitch again. And this time they stop it.
Yep.
Got good penetration that time. Creasy was the man who made the stop for Louisa.
And that's really the first time defensively they've been able to do that and get penetration. Nice defensive play by Creasy that time. Good job.
2nd and about 7 across the way. Panthers quickly up to the line of scrimmage again. Louisa will receive the second half kickoff. It would be huge if they could stop them here.
Yeah, if I could keep them out of the end zone here and get the second half kickoff, it would be huge.
Shook. Gives the ball off to the fullback, and he's going to be brought down around the 10-yard line. Creasy in on that stop for Louisa. Also in on that stop for the Lions that time was number 64. And that was Axel Franco.
Oh, Axel.
3rd and 6. And we down
inside of a
less
minute.
than a minute to go in the first half. Shook under center. Shook gonna throw it. Got his man open and didn't make the catch.
Looked like he went through his hands.
He was wide open.
He was on a little stop route. That corner was bailing. I don't know why you're going to bail, but so much because you ain't got but so much field to work with.
There's not that much room behind you. Exactly right.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's kind of like he went to sleep a little bit on where he was on the field that time because he gave him a lot of cushion.
Yeah.
And Louisa's just very fortunate that that ball was not caught.
All right, going to try a field goal, and it's going to be put down on the 17, be a 27-yard field goal. Lynch attempting a 27-yard field goal. Ball is down, kick is up, kick looks good. Kick is good.
No good.
No good.
That's wide.
No good.
Yeah.
Missed the field goal. All right. So the Lions did what they had to do. They needed a stop
Got
before the
one.
half, and they got it.
To the track area underneath the scoreboard. There you will see the Massaponax High School Marching Panther Pride warming up, getting ready to take the field for your halftime.
Yeah, I thought the kick was good.
I thought it was too, Byron. It looked like it from here. It was good, but we're not underneath the goalpost.
It was hooking left. I could see it hooking. I didn't know if it was going to hook enough, but it did.
That's the first time Louisa stopped Massaponax tonight that they got the ball and didn't get any points.
Well, they got to be careful right here, Dickie, with the ball right here. You know,
I
don't force something and turn it back over with 40-some seconds
No.
left and give them another opportunity.
No, I couldn't agree with you. I'd be very careful what I did down
And
here.
if Massaponax has got timeouts,
Jackson
potentially
got a man
Yeah, he
open.
got
at the
him
side.
wide.
Oh, that was a touchdown. That was a touchdown for Louisa. Nobody was with him within 20 yards of him, and he overthrew him.
Falls incomplete.
That's the old hitch and go. And the go guy is the guy that goes to get that block, and he just runs right by that guy and wide open. Boy, if he could have got that one, it would have.
That would have really changed this ball game.
Yeah, it
Louisa
would've.
would have been only one score down and getting the second half kickoff. Donovan Nelson was wide open.
Yeah. That's one, if you put a little air under it, even if he's got to stop and wait for it, he's still going
Right.
to score.
And now we got a timeout. Louisa.
And a timeout has been called by the Panthers.
All right. I mean, he was 20 yards behind everybody. He could-
Everybody, all the backers, everybody bit on that hitch action.
Right.
Come flying up, and he went right by him.
We will be selling tickets.
That's the play. You might get one shot at the game at it,
right.
And you gotta try to connect that one time.
And that's, Tim, that's obviously going to be a teaching point for Jaheim Jackson to say, look, son, in that situation, it doesn't have to be a perfect
Right,
pass.
you don't. Right.
The third quarter.
And actually, he could have stopped and waited for the ball and still scored a
that's what I'm
touchdown.
saying.
Nobody was
Just
anywhere near him.
Put a little more air under
Right.
it, let him adjust to it, catch it, and go.
The ball belongs to Louisa. Second down and 10 from their own 20-yard line.
All right, we got 37 seconds to go in the first half. Jackson. One right out to the left, two to the right. Throwing it over there again. Got his man down the field again. Just barely overthrew him. And that was intended for Jaden Davis.
What's going to happen, guys, if you're not careful, you're going to give them the ball back
That's right.
with time on the clock.
Yep.
I mean, it's third down. We'll see what he
And
does.
with 10 yards to go, it is.
Well, even if he runs the ball now, Massaponax can take a timeout, still get the ball back.
I know.
Yep.
Yeah, they're going to get the ball back with time for a couple plays.
Yep.
Yeah.
Jackson. Got to throw it again. Down the sideline he goes. Got his man, overthrew him again. Haywood, the intended receiver,
now
and
you
we've
got
still
fourth
got
down.
27 seconds to go. And now Massaponax is going to get the ball back.
Pass incomplete. 27 seconds
The only,
remain on the clock.
yeah.
And it is
Yeah, it'd be,
fourth down.
going back and looking at that, if the receiver just runs a little bit of some type of a little hook pattern, Tim, because the defensive back is bailing out down the field.
Yeah, they're bailing. They're playing the long ball.
Albertson. Got it
Well,
away. Got a roughing the
that's-
kicker.
They're going to get the ball
Louisa
back.
going to get the ball back for a roughing the kicker penalty.
Yep. If he'd have took the right angle, he'd have blocked it.
He'd have blocked it.
See, you know, when you teach that, you teach it. When you come off that edge, you pick a spot 3 yards in front of the punter because that takes care of his steps. And you got a shot at blocking it. But he ran right at him.
He almost blocked it, too.
Yeah.
Personal foul. Roughing the kicker.
He would have, Diggy, if he took the right angle.
That's right. That's right.
It's a 15-yard penalty.
He actually took the angle, ran him into the kicker. If he took the angle where the ball was going, he would have blocked it.
That's where the angle you got to take. I used to tell my guys, you pick an imaginary spot about 2 steps in front of that guy. 2 to 3 steps. I mean, they got time now to put the ball back up again and try to make a play.
All right, Louisa got the ball on the 35-yard line, and we got 16 seconds to go in the first half. Massaponax on top 20-7. Louisa will receive the second half kickoff. Jackson pitches the ball back. Back out to Jackson on the side. Jackson is dropped just over the line of scrimmage, and that may be the last. Nope, Louisa going to try one more play. We've got 8 seconds to go.
Pass complete.
Tim, the other thing we talked about a little bit during the lightning delay, well, you think they'll shorten this halftime since we had such a long break?
They might shorten it a little bit, Diggy, but they're probably not going to shorten it too much, especially with this heat. But they might shorten it a little bit.
We try to give you some scores of other games at the half. A lot of these other games are over now.
Yeah.
Yep. Trainers, as well as team doctor Mark Ford from Central Virginia Orthopedics and Sports Medicine. Thank you so much to the crew
all right.
there on the sidelines helping to keep
This
our
will probably be the last play of the first half.
I do have one score coming from over at Cortland 14 and North Stafford 0.
Is that over?
No, everybody had delays in the area.
Second down and 8 for Louisa.
All right. Jackson got the ball down. The old flea flicker. And he's now out of bounds. We got 2 seconds left, Byron.
Coach Patrick pulling all the plays
That's
out.
right.
Throw back to the quarterback.
I was just thinking the
Flea
same
flickers,
thing,
he
man.
pulled them all out.
They have turned some pages in the playbook.
Yes, sir.
That's right. The flea flicker. Guy caught it and lateraled it to the guy coming behind him.
He gonna give who you say they play in 2 weeks, Albemarle? He gonna give him something to think about for the next couple of weeks. You're gonna have to defend. You're gonna have to defend everything against us.
All right, unless there's a penalty, this will be the last play of the first half.
Yep.
All right, and the line of scrimmage is the 43-yard line of Louisa. So they're up on the ball now.
Jackson.
And then
Double
pull out
pass,
enough.
got a
He's
man
open.
He's got it, and they tackle him inside the 20-yard line. He almost scored a touchdown. The double pass almost scored a touchdown.
Well, that's about as much as you can pull out your bag.
That's right. It sure was.
Throw
that.
back to the quarterback. Okay. Flea flicker and double pass.
Right.
That's about all.
The double pass. Jaden Davis caught it, and they tackled him on about the 18-yard line.
He had a shot at it.
Yep. Yes, he did.
Wow.
All
Yeah,
right,
I mean,
we
if
got
they-
halftime here tonight at Massaponax High School, and we got a score of 20-7. Massaponax went up quickly, well, not quickly, but 20-0. Scored first possession of the night on a Phillips 1-yard run, and that was a 56-yard drive. The second possession, Shook an 8-yard run. That was a 52-yard drive. And then they scored on an 82-yard drive. Sanders got the touchdown on a 15-yard run. This one looked like it was going to be a rout, but nope. Louisa's defense dug in, did what they had to do. Lions drove 84 yards, scored on a 52-yard run by Haywood. Extra point good. And we got a 20-7 ball game at halftime. Louisa's kind of battled back in this one when it looked like it might be a blowout. Got to give the Lions a lot of credit for hanging in there. And they're going to receive the kickoff to start the second half. And we'll see where things go from there. All right, we'll try to give you some scores here at halftime. We thought maybe the halftime might be shortened, but now we see the band is out there for Massaponax, so I guess we're going to have a regular halftime.
Yeah.
If you just joined us, yep, the ball game should be over, but that lightning
What time
delay,
is it, Diggy?
we're halftime. We got
Something to 10, eh?
yeah, 20 minutes to 10. We've been here 2 hours and 40 minutes just about, and we just at halftime.
One time when I was at Spotsy, and it was, I think, the second year, 1990, we played Parkview at home, and we got in a lightning delay. We started the game, didn't even start the game till 10 o'clock at night.
Oh, gosh.
Because Mickey Thompson said they didn't want to have to come back on Saturday, so we're going to wait it out. So we did. We started the game 10 o'clock.
Oh,
That was a long night.
Yes. All right, let's see if we can get some scores here.
Well, the good thing is that Louisa did finally, Tim, show a little bit of life
They did.
in that second quarter. They had that one good drive where they started deep in their own territory. They started, I think, at their own 16-yard
Yep.
line.
Yeah.
And had an 84-yard drive because up until that point they had done absolutely nothing.
And and that's got to help a young squad going into halftime. And here's what I've always said, Byron. When you play young kids, okay. Young kids sometimes are going to make young kid mistakes, but they're also going to make big plays for you from time to time.
Right.
And sometimes you just have to live with what you get, because you know what is especially when them kids don't have a lot of experience, and they hung in there, and they could have easily said we're not going to don't look like we're going to score a touchdown tonight, but they didn't.
Right.
But 84 yards wasn't it on that drive?
Yeah,
by?
84 yards.
84. I mean that's a good drive.
And they almost scored another touchdown when they had that man wide open over there.
They could have very easily went in 14, 20 to 14 at halftime.
Right, that's right.
And
They
you're down less than a touchdown because you score again, kick it, it's 21-20.
Yep. All right, one score that a lot of listeners might be interested in. Benedictine beat Woodbury Forest today, 42-13. All right, I don't have anything on. Coach had a score on Spotsylvania and Caroline. I don't have anything on that.
Well, the halftime score on that was 12-7 at halftime, but I haven't got any updates. And I did get a score of 14-0 Cortland over North Stafford.
All right, Culpeper is losing to Fauquier 34-28. Culpeper has yet to win a ball game. Lost to Orange last week. Here's an interesting ball game. Salem and William Fleming of Roanoke. Salem's winning 33-14. Let's see. Okay. I get some of these ones that you listeners would probably like to hear. I got to stroll down my phone to find them. Glen Allen's playing Patrick Henry tonight, but we don't have a score on that ball game. Orange is beating Goochland 14-0. That's in the third quarter. You got to believe a lot of these ball games had what happened here tonight.
Right.
Yeah.
Had a lightning delay, so
Yeah.
we may not have a whole lot of final scores. There'll be a couple of more. I know there's some more scores on here that I saw during the Cortland 14-0 over North Stafford.
Yeah.
And that we have that in the second quarter. LC Bird is beating Monacan 14-0. LC Bird is in Region 5, the same region Louisa's in. Brook Point's beating Independence 15-13. Liberty beating James Monroe 46-6. And that's the final.
Yeah.
Get some others. Russberg over Stewart's draft. Stafford is winning 35-19.
Who are they playing?
I think the C.J. Coogan, is it?
Oh, Cogan.
Cogan, yeah.
Yeah.
Midlothian's beating Cosby 16-0. Midlothian is unbeaten. They're the Division 5 school that Louisa's competing against in the region. And let's see. I got some others down here at the bottom. I know Albemarle was getting beat pretty bad. Trying to get that score again. Albemarle getting beat pretty bad. Well, they're in the fourth quarter. Patrick Henry of Roanoke, 49, Albemarle 6. And Albemarle was supposed to be good this year. They will be 0-3 after this loss. And I don't think they'd hardly get scored but one offensive touchdown. And that's County Roanoke's beating them 49-6 tonight. King George, Riverbend, second quarter, 13-7 King George.
King George, 13-7.
Freeman is beating Mechanicsville 23-0. Freeman is a Division V school that's unbeaten. Monticello's losing to Turner Ashby 28-7. TA and Monticello were both unbeaten. And in the second quarter, Chancellor, who hadn't scored a point until tonight, is beating Fluvanna 19-14.
Dickie, you don't see a score for William Monroe and Lou Ray, do you?
I went by William Monroe, Lou Ray, but it wasn't a score.
Okay.
Didn't have any score on it. And from what we're guessing, a lot of these games had lightning delays. Yep. All right, the band is finished, so we may have a little shortened halftime here. The football teams have not come back out yet. And Byron, tell us a little something. You're going up to Charlottesville tomorrow, hoping to see JMU beat the Cavaliers tomorrow.
I hope we don't have a lightning delay. That's what I hope. Yeah, I'm anxious to go. It's been 40 years since those two teams have, they're 50, 60 miles apart. And it's been 40 years since they played each other.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Is that a night game, Byron?
So, no, it's at noon, 12 o'clock tomorrow. So, and it's obviously, guys, going to be a very, very emotional day for the University of Virginia. They're going to be doing a special ceremony for the 3 young men that were murdered in November of last year. So it's going to be a very emotion-filled day, and they are expecting one of the bigger crowds that they've had in Charlottesville for a long, long time for a football game.
Yeah.
Well, one of the reasons that crowd is going to be so big, though, is because there's going to be a lot of JMU fans there. Don't you think so, Byron?
Yeah, there'll be some purple in there, in and amongst the orange. Yep, for sure.
Yep. I know that game's on ESPNU. That's what I'm planning on watching at the 12 o'clock hour.
Well, Virginia looking to bounce back after, they got beat by Tennessee last weekend, and they're looking to want to try to bounce back and get in that win column.
Yeah.
Year in, year out, James Madison, put some good football teams on the field.
Yeah, and I think they got a good coach over there now, and they've got some, they're getting, with the transition up a level, Tim, the depth is the thing that gets you when you play teams. And so they're starting to catch up with that.
I got you.
So I think they're going to, they were very competitive, went 8-3 last year. So I'm just hoping for a good ball game all the way around tomorrow.
How about when Gary Clark was over at JMU and they upset UVA that year?
Yeah. And I said, he went back and I said, just keep punting the ball to him. Just keep kicking it to him. And they did. So, yeah, absolutely.
All right, fans, this is your last call. Last call to get in on tonight's 50-50 round.
All right, we're getting ready for the second half. The teams will be back out here shortly, and we'll be back to football on a long Friday night over here at Massaponax tonight. Game started at 7 o'clock, a long lightning delay. And now we're at halftime, and we're at 9:45. And we still got 6 minutes to go before they're going to start the second half, according to the clock.
I might call Tracy on the way home, just tell her we just go on down to North Carolina tonight. Drive on down there tonight, get down in time, eat some breakfast somewhere, and get ready for the game.
Yeah, you're going to see one of your old players play tomorrow.
Yeah, down at Chowan. He plays, Robbie Evans plays at Delta State down in Mississippi. And they come up and play Chowan tomorrow at 1 o'clock. And
Tim, is it, I'm sure it's quite often that you go to see these kids that have played for you, that to see them play again.
Yeah, and they appreciate that.
Yeah, I'm sure
the old coach come around, and I think I've never been one just to go to a bunch of college games on weekends.
Right.
But if I will go to college games that involve my old players,
right?
And because back in the day, when I was coaching, Dickie, Saturday I'd get away from football.
Right.
And if I went to a game but I had a player playing was one thing, but if it wasn't one of my players playing somewhere, me and one of my coaches from Spotsylvania, we was gonna go fishing because we would get away. I had to get away from football at least one day.
All right, now, so you're a little bit. Let me ask you something. What's the timetable? When this game is over tonight, will these coaches get together Saturday, or will most of them wait till Sunday to get together? Or does it vary on who the coach is?
Well, it kind of varies. You know what? When I was at Spotsylvania, we used to meet on Sunday evenings at 6 o'clock. When I was at Colonial Forge, some of those guys wanted to meet on Saturday morning, so we met on Saturday mornings at 10.
Yep.
But I told them, I said, I can meet any time other than Sunday morning because I go to church, so I can't meet on Sunday morning, but anytime. But see, now, with this huddle and stuff that they have, they will download these games to each other pretty much immediately after the game. Whereas back in the day, I'd have to go in, dub a couple films, okay, get in a vehicle and drive. I mean, one night we dubbed films after the game at Colonial Forge, got in the car and drove to Amelia, the McDonald's there on 360, and made a film exchange with the coaches from Halifax.
Yeah.
But that's what you had to do back then.
And Tim, when Hal Lockhart was at Louisa, they'd film a game, and I can remember different ones would carry it. We had to carry it to Richmond.
I carried it down there to the alley.
Right, and Glen Alley, that's right. Take it down there.
First come, first serve. You go down, and they would run the film for you. Cause Coach Brown always assigned a partner, your riding partner.
Right.
We'd go somewhere, Dunkin' Donuts, and eat some donuts, or go somewhere and get something to eat. I'm not kidding you guys. I have seen the sunrise coming back up 95 on Saturday morning with the film once they processed it.
We used to
the
go
old 8mm stuff back then.
Right, yeah. I can remember, like you said, I'd leave a film, I'd go to Shoney's, and not very far from there.
Yeah.
And then you come back, and Coach Lockhart will leave the front door open, and you just open the door and put the film right inside the door for him to have the next morning.
Yeah, I mean, I'm right there with you, man. But you know what? I'm going to tell you something. Those were fun days to do that. Coaches this day and age don't understand the camaraderie of things that coaches did back in the day. That was kind of fun. It made coaching fun. Something like that. Coaches say, oh, well, how do you do something like that? But you know what? we did it. We dropped it off. We went and got something to eat, or Dunkin' Donuts, or Shoney's, like you talking about.
Right.
And you know what? It was time you got to spend with your coaching buddies.
Yeah.
We used to look forward to going to coaching meetings on Sunday.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because not that you haven't seen your coaches in a while, but you get away from it on Saturday, and you get back in there on Sunday and prepare for the next week.
Right.
And I don't know sometimes some of the modern conveniences that these coaches now have kind of takes away from that camaraderie. Back when we went. Cliff Conway, who's the principal at Cortland right now. All right. He went, Bill Swink, you remember Bill Swink?
Yeah.
Well, he went, and Mark Black, who was coaching with us, he drove us all.
Okay.
So we got the films run and go down there and drove from Colonial Forge down to the McDonald's on 360 in Amelia to make a film exchange with Halifax. But you know what? We had a good time doing it.
Right.
It was fun.
Yep. Yep.
And I don't know that coaches this day and age would look at that as being fun.
All right, Louisa's back on the field. And Tim, this first possession for Louisa gets is real crucial because if the Lions can convert this, we got ourselves a football game.
Well, that last drive they had that they scored on, you take away that drives right there where they're trying to throw it. This is a different scenario. They're going to come out second half and do what they got done on that other drive. Those are some of the things they'll try to get accomplished. I tell you what, if they could go down and get a score right here, you got a football game.
Yep, we got a football game.
You got a football game, and the one thing that I'm kind of wondering is, even though Louisa got a little crazy with the play calling there at the end, with, hey, we got nothing to lose, let's roll the dice kind of attitude, does it slow down just a half a step the defensive pursuit or flying to the line of scrimmage by Massaponax?
Well,
maybe it does.
It lets them know that we've got some things we can do. If y'all want to come flying up there, we got some things we can do.
That's right.
Now, whether they will come back to the hitch and go deal where he fakes that hitch and he hit that guy, he overshot him. if they don't come back to it, guess what it's done, Myron? It's slowed them DBs down.
Right.
Now the
That's
hitch is
right.
going to be open a little bit.
That's right.
Now he's going to have a little bit more time to run because they ain't come flying up there like it was.
Yeah. But couldn't agree more that this is a huge drive
Yeah.
for Louisa
Yeah.
offensively.
Yep.
Yeah, this is a crucial drive. It is opening drive for Louisa. It's
Yep.
crucial. Yep. All right, the teams are loosening up. We'll be ready for some more football action. Start the second half. A long lightning delay, and that's been the case in a lot of high school football games
Yeah,
tonight.
it has been tonight.
Yep, a lot of them have been lightning delays tonight. All right, I got some scores from our buddy Tommy Nelson.
Okay.
In the third quarter now, it's Chancellor 19, Fluvanna 14. Spotsylvania is beating Caroline in the fourth quarter, 28-21. That would be Spotsy's first victory if they get it.
Yep.
Glen Allen is leading Patrick Henry 14-6. And King George in the fourth quarter is up on Riverbend. But I don't have was up on Riverbend by one touchdown early in the fourth quarter. That's what Tommy just texted me. All right. Still waiting to get ready to start this. I thought maybe we'd have a short halftime after that long lightning delay. If anything, it looks like we were having a long halftime.
Yeah.
Massaponax will be kicking off. Louisa will be receiving to start the second half. All right, the Lions huddling down underneath the goalpost to our left. And we're getting ready for the start of the second half. And we still got a pretty good crowd here. Yep.
You know what? What else you going to do 9:55 on Friday night? Watch a football game.
Yes.
Yeah, and I tell you, there toward the end of the first quarter, I mean, I'm looking at this game going, guys, this thing might be 35-0 at halftime, the way it was going in. Because,
Yeah.
I mean, Massaponax was thumping Louisa.
They were.
In that first quarter. So hats off to the Lions. They sort of regrouped a little bit and clawed back into this football game. And, I mean, they're one play away from it being a 6-point game right now.
Yeah, I couldn't
Yeah.
agree with more, Byron. This thing at that point looked like it was going to be a rout until Louisa finally got the act together and got a touchdown and stopped Massaponax. All right. Tim, here's one might be a little bit of surprise. DeMatha 14, Freedom 13.
Well, I heard that early in that ball game that DeMatha's first two scores came on punt blocks.
Oh.
Yep.
All right. Massaponax getting ready to kick off. And we get ready to start the second half.
Prior to the game, Louisa won the toss and deferred to the second
All
half.
right,
So the
Louisa
Lions will receive.
won the toss, deferred to the second half, so they'll be receiving the second half kickoff here. See if the Lions can claw their way back in this ball game. As you said, Byron, last week it was 21-0 Louisa, and Cortland clawed their way back in it. Now let's see if Louisa can claw their way back in it tonight when they went down 20-0 in the first half. Lynch will be kicking off for Massaponax. All right.
And he's got a good leg, but they've tried a couple different things on kickoffs as well tonight, so Louisa's got to be prepared for anything. I have a feeling he's going to He's going to try to send this one deep.
All right. Yep. He's going to be taken around the 25-yard line, 30. He got a hole.
He's got a
40,
hole.
45, 50, 40, 35, down to Massaponax 32-yard line.
It's Byron, what you said earlier, right there, brother. That's what the doctor ordered up to start the second half.
And the man who did that for Louisa was number 20, Samuel George.
Yeah, kind of a best way to describe it, sort of a pooch type of kickoff, and George caught that thing on a pretty much a dead run
Yeah, he
at
did.
about the 30-yard line, and off to the races he went.
He caught it on a dead run. I think that was the key. He was full speed ahead when he caught the football. 1st and 10, Louisa on the 33. Jackson got a man open, and he's got it inside the 20 down to about the 17. Haywood was the receiver for Louisa.
His pass is
I
complete.
think he might be shaking up just a little bit.
Yeah, he's a little gimpy going off.
And Haywood's the one that scored the Louisa touchdown on a 52-yard run. 1st and 10, Louisa from the 12. No, I'm sorry, the 17.
And that pass, I mean, they completed it, but it floated just a little bit. If he'd had a little more in the line, I think there would have been even a better result.
Handoff goes to, I believe it's Creasy. Creasy fights for yardage inside the 5. Nope, not Creasy. Seabury is the ball carrier.
Jaden Lee Seabury with the carry.
Seabury is down, they put it down on the 7.
About the 7-yard line.
Another Louisa first down, 1st and goal. Lions are right back in this football game if they can put this one in the end zone. Jackson. Seabury gives the ball off around the corner. He is going to be stopped almost at the line of scrimmage.
Massaponax's defense did a good job of pursuing that.
Real good pursuit. They had 4 or 5 guys out there. A
Yeah,
whole
they
lot of
sure
black
did.
jerseys out there.
Samuel George, the ball carrier for Louisa. And we're looking at 2nd and goal from the 6. Lions need a TD here. If they get this touchdown, they're right back in this football game. Opening possession of the 3rd quarter. And he's going to be, is he in for the
He's
score?
right down there to it.
I don't see any signal. He was close.
Man, that was close.
Jackson almost took it to the house, but he's down on about the 1-yard line.
All right, Louisa up on the ball quickly.
He's going to be spotted down at the 1, and it's 3rd
1st and
down.
goal from the 1.
This is where
Again, and is he in?
Touchdown.
Touchdown, Louisa.
Yep.
Yes, touchdown, Louisa. And I'm trying to get the ball carrier who scored the TD. And the Lions are right back in this thing.
All right, and obviously a drive set up by a great kickoff return. He took the ball over at Massaponax's 33-yard line. PAT is up, and it's good.
And the kick is up and good.
All right, we got ourselves a football game. We got 9:57 to go here in the 3rd quarter. And Louisa is right back in this thing, 20-14.
Brought to you by Arby's, the official sponsor of Massaponax.
And that was a 67-yard drive.
And they took basically two minutes off the clock to do it.
50-50 raffle ticket. Please get your ticket ready. We
All
are
right.
getting ready to announce the winning ticket number. Tonight's
20
winner is taking home
to
$113. So again, get your ticket ready. You will be
Byron, I guess I'm going to give the touchdown to Seabury, but I'm not sure who got it.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure the number had it either, Diggy.
We will try to verify that, but
Now, I'll be very interested to see what Louisa does with this kickoff.
He's setting it up, Byron, like he's going to pooch it over there.
That's exactly what it looks like, and I just hope he sends it maybe a little bit deeper than he did, especially on that one to start the ball game.
All right, he'll kick it short. Albertson waiting for the whistle to blow, and he kicked it short over around the 33-yard line. That's where Massaponax will take over. Let's see where they mark it down exactly. I think it's going to be right around the 33. He did get that one a little deeper than he did the other one, Byron.
Yeah, a little bit.
Winning ticket for tonight's 50-50 raffle. We're looking for whoever is
about 34.
10934.
Yeah, 34-yard line.
34-yard
If
line.
that is your ticket, please come to the press box immediately.
Okay, so let's see if the Lions defensively can come up with a stop here to open the second half. Offense came out and did what they needed to do. Now let's see what the defense can do.
Handoff goes to the fullback. And he picks up about.
On first down, the ball's carried by number 1, Donovan Phillips.
Donovan Phillips, the ball carrier, give him 4 yards, second is 6.
He's out to the 38-yard line. Gain of 4 brings second and 6.
Massaponax up to the line of scrimmage. Handoff again to the fullback, and he just straight ahead for Massaponax first down. They just overpowered him on those 2 plays.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, the line surge right now for Massaponax is very impressive. They're just moving the pile.
And then you put that big fullback in there behind them, and you're picking up 4, 5, 6, 7 yards.
Handoff again to the fullback, and this time they stop him right about the line of scrimmage. And on that stop, Christian Johnson for Louisa.
Phillips across the 45.
And also in on that stop for Louisa is Axel Franco. Second and 9, gain of a yard.
We've got a Louisa man down on the field. We'll try to see who that is, and hopefully that's nothing serious. Hopefully nothing more than a cramp, but we'll see.
All right. The trainer and out there with the Dr. Southall out there. And
Might be a little more than a cramp because the kid from Massaponax came down the field and hit him back there, trying to block him.
all right. He's getting up, so that's good.
Yep.
He's setting up now. That's good. Yep.
Can you see what number
Yeah,
it is?
I think it's 76, which would be Aiden Waller if it's 76.
So that means he's a D lineman, and he got drove back into the secondary area.
He's up on his feet walking off.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good. Walking off on his own power.
Yep.
That's really good to see.
Hey, congratulations to Jackson. That's the winner of tonight's 50-50 raffle.
All right.
So congratulations.
Second down and 9 coming up for the Massaponax Panthers.
Thank you so much to everyone who purchased a ticket tonight in support of the Massaponax PTSO.
All right, and line of scrimmage is their own 46-yard line.
Second down and 9 for the Panthers.
Their Massaponax is opening offensive possession of the second half. Second and 9.
Man in motion. Give the ball off again to the fullback. He's got running room, and he's down inside the Louisa 30-yard line. Big gain. Wiggins again the ball carrier for the Panthers.
That will be good for another Massaponax first down.
Massaponax offensive line's getting a good surge on the coach.
They just popped the line of scrimmage and goes down to the 30-yard line, so 24 yards on that carry.
Same play. Nope, this time shook
Fumble.
it. Fumble the
Fumble!
ball. Louisa got it. Well, Louisa had it. I
Had
think
it.
Louisa got it.
Yeah, they
Yep.
got it.
All right, that is the break we've been looking for, guys. Because Massaponax was definitely moving the football.
And I'm not sure who came up with it for
I think it was
Louisa.
number 18, I think.
18 would be Gavin Anderson.
I thought it was,
Yep.
but I'm not positive.
Right.
Lions take over 1st and 10.
18 would be Gavin Anderson if he came up with it. All right, 1st and 10, Louisa. That was a big break there. Stopped the Massaponax drive, and the Lions take over for a chance to take the lead.
All right, and the Lions are at their 34-yard line.
Jackson gives the ball to Haywood. Haywood turns the corner, and he's run out of bounds over around the 40-yard line. Started this drive on the 34, Burn.
Yes. And it's good to see Haywood carrying the ball, Dickie, because he kind of limped off
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
last possession. So it's good to see him in there.
It looked like he kind of slipped on that cut when he made that cut right there, or he'd have picked up some more yardage.
2nd down, and we'll call it 4 across the way. Jackson in the backfield, Seabury back there with him. Jackson gives the ball to Seabury, and Seabury has got some yardage. He's got a 1st down.
Wow.
He's up to midfield. Nice run by Seabury.
A little counter play.
Yep.
Seabury with the carry. He's out to midfield.
Fake
Picks
that
up the
jet
1st
sweep
down.
coming this way, Dickie, and then countered back the other way. A good
Yep.
little, good, nice play.
Yep, very nice play.
1st and 10, Louisa.
1st and 10 from the 50-yard line.
7 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. 20-14. Massaponax over top of Louisa. Jackson throws a little flare pass out, and it is incomplete.
Well, he's lucky that didn't get picked off.
And that was another one, Tim. It looked like to me it was awful
Well,
close to a lateral.
And it would have been better had it been incomplete.
30, Edward Mills.
I know.
Ball comes all the way back to the 44-yard line. Loss of 6 brings 2nd down and 16.
Yeah, that was a dangerous
That
little
was very
swing
dangerous.
pass, but that was dangerous because he just sort of floated it out there, and
And
that
they
could have
lost
been
6
could have been-
yards.
yeah, that could have been 6 points going
Yeah.
the other way in a hurry.
Easily. Jackson got his man open over here, and he's going to get not quite to the 50-yard line where he's brought down. He almost got a horse collar, but he didn't.
And he's
Number
Pass is complete.
Donovan Nelson, the receiver for Louisa. And now we're looking at 3rd down and 12 across the way.
To go. It is.
Big play in this ball game right here.
3rd down.
3rd and 12. Jackson. George in the backfield with him. George gets the snap. George keeps the ball, but he doesn't fool anybody. Did not get quite back to the line of scrimmage. And let's see if Louisa punts the ball here.
Direct snap is to
Yep,
George.
they're gonna punt it.
Brought down in the backfield immediately for a loss. Ball comes back to the 47-yard line.
Albertson in the
Loss
punt.
of 2, and with 14 yards to go, it is 4th down.
All right. Albertson, bad snap. He's going to pass it. He throws it downfield, and it's incomplete.
He's on his back. Come on now.
Anderson was the intended receiver.
And the fake
No
punt,
flag.
unsuccessful. Brought down by the Panthers. Turnover on downs.
Well, you got to give Coach Patrick credit. He's pulling out all the stops.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
is that. He is that. And that was that was very interesting because that pass pattern was down the middle
Down
of
the
the
middle,
field.
yeah.
And very close to being completed. And you probably heard me say he's on his back. It looked to me like the defender came
Yeah.
over him a little bit. I really thought he got there
The
too soon.
Panthers take over 1st and
And
10
that could have,
from the Lions 47.
Could have caused a flag to come out for pass interference, but not to be.
I think
All right, take over on the Louisa
caught the
47.
referees off guard, Byron, I believe.
You might be right.
Man in motion. Give off up the middle again. He's got yardage again. He's at the 30, inside the 30. Picked up about 20 yards on that play. And it's Sanders carried the ball that time. Tim Albertson threw it. I don't think he could have kicked it. That guy was on top of him when he threw it.
Yeah, I mean, the snap was a little bit low to begin with.
Yes. Now we got
I ain't too sure if it had been complete, if it would have counted anyway, because it probably had linemen downfield.
And I thought maybe we might see some of this tonight. And this is the first time we've seen it. Got a player with looks like a Charlie horse out there. And in this heat, we might see some of that.
Yep.
And we still got 4 minutes and 49 seconds to go here in the third quarter, if you can believe that. If there's some chance you just joined us, that's right. This is a live broadcast. There's been a lot of lightning delays in high school football tonight, and we had one of them.
Yep.
And Byron Melhalf says he hopes he doesn't have one tomorrow up at Scott Stadium.
That's right.
And he's up. We hope he's okay. Let's give him a round of applause.
Well, now let me retract that. Because depending on the score, I might want that to happen. So
Previous play run down inside the 30, and that will be good for another Massaponax first down.
All right.
First and 10 for the Panthers from the 28.
all right, line of scrimmage for the Panthers is the Louisa 28-yard line. Lions need to tough up here defensively and come up with a stop.
Man in motion. Hand off to the fullback again. And
Wiggins down to the 25.
Wiggins, the ball carrier. And he picks up about 3. We're looking at second and 8.
Gain of 3 brings second down.
I taught his
7.
mama when she was in the 9th grade.
Just hammering it up the middle again. And getting up off the bottom of the pile for Louisa.
Sanders down to the 21.
With number 21, Isaiah Holland. Now we're looking at 3rd and 3 across the way. Think they got to do something a little different this time, Coach? You just
Nope. I think they're just going to hammer it.
I'll hammer it again.
Yep. Because they're in 4-down territory.
Shook. Under center, man in motion. Pitch the ball back.
Called sweet.
And he is going to be
Oh,
stopped
good play
for
by
a
the
loss.
Lions.
And Louisa defense makes the big play that time. Gavin Anderson there for Louisa.
Wiggins
Creasy there for Louisa.
for a loss.
Really nice job by the Lions defense that time. They got penetration, not one, but had a couple guys in the Massaponax backfield and drove him back for about a 3-4 yard loss.
Yep.
That's going to bring up 4th and about 6.
Well, you're pounding the ball right at them, going
right.
north and south, and then you go a toss, and
Fourth down and
you know,
6.
even though the toss had been working, you know, most of the night, but Louisa's defense played that really well.
4th and 6 is a big play here.
This is probably
Line stop him, he'll get the football
this
back.
might be the play of the game right here.
Yep, 4th and 6. Gives the ball off, and I don't think he got the first down. It's
I don't
going to be
think he
close.
got it.
No, he didn't get it. He didn't get it.
Phillips up the middle to the 20-yard line.
Did not get the first down. The Louisa defense does the job they have to do.
Down.
Well, you know, they got in a power eye look that time, guys, and just said, here, you know, here we come, big on big, and Louisa came up big.
Defense did what they had to do.
Yeah, they did.
That 3rd down play was big.
Yeah.
Where it was,
Massaponax football
you know,
program
3rd and 2,
led
3rd
a
and
very
3, and
special
now
thank
it's,
you to
you know,
Rappahannock
3rd and
Electric
6.
And
Oh,
Stafford
yep.
Kia for their generous donations to support the Massaponax football program.
All right.
Again, that's Rappahannock Electric and Stafford Kia. Thank you so much for your support of Massaponax football.
Jackson gives the ball off to Seabury. Seabury didn't get much. Louisa stopped them that time on the 21-yard line. That's where they'll take over.
Seabury.
All right, so defensively the Lions have done what they hoped to do. I mean, here in the second half, Massaponax had a fumble, and then the second possession they turn it over on downs. So defensively the Lions have stepped up and done what they need to do. Now it's time for the offense to churn out some first downs.
2nd and 8. And not much again. George, the ball carrier. And he actually lost a yard. 3rd and 9 for Louisa. We got a minute and 40 seconds to go here in the third quarter. Massaponax 20, Louisa 14. All right, see if that line's aired out. Jackson gonna pass. Throwing the ball up the sidelines, and he caught it.
I think he caught it.
He caught it. 2 men on it, and he caught it. Haywood.
And the pass is complete to number 2, Isaiah.
Isaiah Haywood's having himself quite a ball game tonight. He was double covered, and he caught that one.
Nice catch.
He's a senior, right?
Yeah, he's a senior.
Well, you know what? He's a senior making senior plays tonight.
First and 10,
up.
Louisa from their own 46-yard line.
That was a huge play.
Jackson, the ball carrier, and he didn't get much.
The linemen got to stay on their blocks.
He gained a yard, 2nd and 9. And this might be the last play of the third quarter. 2nd and 9. In all likelihood, this will be the last play of the third quarter.
Yep.
All right, so the Lions come up. The line of scrimmage is their own 47-yard line. 2nd and 9.
Gonna throw it. Roll it out. He's throwing it downfield. The man is double covered. They knock. I don't see how they can not call pass interference.
And the pass intercepted.
The ball is intercepted. The ball is intercepted. And I guess it was number 2 intercepted it, Isaiah Ward. I thought there was definitely pass interference. They knocked the receiver down.
Yeah, there's no question it was contact. I mean, 2 defenders back there, the 1 receiver.
Yeah.
Was probably a ball, quite honestly, that shouldn't have been thrown.
I would agree with you there, too.
But he put it up and put a lot of air under it. And as they were waiting on it, the Louisa defender definitely, it looked like because of contact, went to the ground. But the referee was right there.
Right, he didn't call it that way, and Massaponax intercepts it.
What down was that? Was that 2nd down or 3rd down?
That was
3rd down.
Yeah, that actually I think was 2nd down.
Yep, 2nd down.
Yeah.
Yep.
2nd and 9.
Yep. Man in motion, hand off to the fullback again, and this time they stop him. And that will probably be the end of the third quarter. Big number 654 in there for the Louisa Lions. And that's Joshua Henson. And, yep, that's the end of the third quarter here tonight from Massaponax High School. And the score at the end of the 3 quarters, we got ourselves a ball game. Louisa trailing by 6. Massaponax 20, Louisa 14. And I would say this, Coach. The way this one started out, I did not think we'd go into the fourth quarter with a 20-14 ball game, anybody's ball game, after Massaponax jumped out to that 20-0 lead as easy as they did.
You're right, Diggy. You got to give the coaching staff over there credit and the players credit for hanging in there, because especially when you got, we keep referring to them about being young kids,
right.
And they showed a lot of intestinal fortitude here tonight.
Yeah, they have that. No question about it. They certainly have.
Yeah, we talked about the first couple ball games. They came out like a house of fire in the first half, but then the second half kind of, just cooled off. And it's good to see them come out. And I would say, you just got to say that the third quarter was a win for Louisa.
Oh, yeah. And, the bottom line, they've given themselves a chance to win this football game.
Absolutely.
All right, Massaponax got a second down and 8 from the 25-yard line. First play of the fourth quarter.
And the ball belongs to the Panthers. Second down and 7 from their own 25.
All right. And we're ready for the first play of the fourth quarter. Shook. Still calling the play.
Got a flag.
And now we got a flag. What do we got now?
Prior to the snap, encroachment on the defense.
Encroachment.
All right, so 5 yards on the Lions.
30-yard line.
Now we got a second and 3.
And now 2 yards to go.
All right. Shook. Keeps it himself. Made the fake this time to the fullback. Kept it himself. Got the first down.
Quarterback number 3, Ian Shook. He keeps it. He's out to the 34-yard line, and that will be good for another. Massaponax, first down.
First and 10, Massaponax from their own 39-yard line.
If they can get a stop right here on this series, they can still have pretty decent field position.
Shook gives the ball off to the fullback, and he doesn't go anywhere. Christian Johnson in there for Louisa.
All right, pretty good job by the Lions defensively that time.
Wiggins across the 35
Initial contact was in the backfield. Did let him squirm for a couple yards, but only 2, so that's going to bring up second down and 8.
Isaiah Holland also in there for Louisa. Second and 8.
Line of scrimmage, the 36-yard line.
Shook under center. He keeps the ball himself, and he doesn't get anywhere. He's doing a much better job of defending the option on the attempt,
Yeah,
Coach.
they are. They did a great job right there. They, even though it looked like he should have pitched it, but he didn't have anybody to pitch it to. They had the pitch taken away too.
Third down and 7.
And about 3 on the keep.
Third and 7. Creasy, one of the lines in there.
That's a
on
big play
defense.
right here.
Big play here, 3rd and 7. Panthers up to the line of scrimmage. Shook under center. Gives the ball off to the. Nope, he's going to keep it. Throw it downfield, and he completes the pass. Yep.
And the pass complete to number 4, Malik Turner Gutierrez.
That was a big play there for Massaponax. Malik Turner Gutierrez, the receiver, and he knocked out of bounds by Isaiah Holland.
All right, so that moves the ball into Louisa territory.
First and 10 for the Panthers.
Moves it to Louisa's 44-yard line.
That was a big play there.
It
He
was.
converted a 3rd and 7.
Big play for Massaponax.
Shook under center.
In neutral zone.
Oh, goodness.
Louisa done offside again, Byron?
Yep, and that's about 3-4 times
They
tonight.
cannot do that. They're beating themselves when they do that.
On the defense.
That's the second time on this drive they've
On this
done
drive is right.
Yep.
So, I mean, that's, when you give a potent offense, when you give them 1st and 5,
Right.
You are certainly not helping yourself any.
Shook. The fullback hammering up the middle again. Number 58 in on a stop for Louisa. And also number 71, and that would be Brewer and Angel Ramirez.
I got a score from down in Carolina, final 34-28. Spotsy get their first win.
Got their first win, beat
Yep,
Caroline.
Beat Carolina, 34-28. Big win for those guys.
All right. Second, and we'll call it 3 across the way. Hand up to the fullback again, and he's got the first down.
They had him stopped.
Yeah, really tough running by
Yeah.
the Massaponax ball carrier, because they had him stuffed right at the line of scrimmage, and he turned that into about a 3 or 4 yard gain.
Mary Houchins in on a stop.
All right.
1st and 10.
Nose with the football on Louisa's 32-yard line.
Man in motion. Give the ball off to the fullback again. He's got running room this time. He's down inside the 15-yard line and a big hole to go through that time. Sanders has had a good game tonight for Massaponax.
Massaponax first.
1st and goal.
Yeah, very, very quick hitting play, and he just popped the line of scrimmage.
Well, it's going to be 1st and 10. The ball's only 11.
Knocks it down to about Louisa's 11-yard line.
Yep. 1st and 10 from the 11.
1st and 10 from the 12.
Shook again under center. Man in motion. Gives the ball to Saunders again. He breaks tackles at the line of scrimmage, and he is down close to the goal line. Looked like they had him stopped, but he broke through that initial contact and is down around the 2-yard line. We got a Massaponax player down now.
I tell you, he almost didn't get the handoff.
I know.
Made on that play.
We got 8:21 to go in this football game. Well, Coach Spotsy had 2 games when they got beat bad.
Yeah, Lafayette had a good football team. Brook Point has some kids that can make some plays for you, and it just got out of hand. But I told some of the coaches tonight they were going to find out if there was fight in the dogs.
Right.
And he's up. We certainly hope he's okay. Let's give him a round of applause.
You kind of feel like the battlefield is going to be the King George Eastern View battle.
Yeah, and I don't know if really Eastern View's got anything.
May not be much of a battle at all.
May not be much of a battle.
All right, so I think it's a 2nd down and about 1 to go. The ball's sitting down at about the 3-yard line.
Hand off to Sanders, and I don't think he quite got in, but he's close.
I think
But
he's
he
got
probably
enough
does
for the
have
first down.
right, Coach. I was just going to say he probably does have the 1st down.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that will be good for another.
That stop for Louisa was 1st and goal.
First and goal for the Panthers.
Shook under center, man in motion. Shook keeps the ball himself, and he is in for the touchdown.
Touchdown!
1-yard run.
Massaponax!
1-yard run by Shook. Byron, they just got behind him and pushed him in the end zone that time, Coach.
Yeah, they did.
Yep, just pushed him in there. All right, Byron, that drive started on the 21.
Yeah, so you got a 79-yard drive.
I'm sorry. Drive started on the 40. No, I got. All right, extra. They're going to go for 2. And we got a timeout.
And the Panthers call.
You have that drive starting on the 47. One-yard run, and Massaponax goes up 26-14. 7:35 to go here in the football game. I gather Massaponax is going for 2.
Yeah, I think they are. Yep. Make it a 2-score game.
Yep. Well, the way this one started out, I did not think it would be this close in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, you're right, Dick. I didn't think it would be either.
I think Louisa deserves a lot of credit for the way they've hung in there and bounced back to get themselves right in this football game.
Yeah, they're in a power eye. I don't think he made it.
No, I don't think he made it.
I don't think he did either.
No. No signal, he didn't get in.
Attempt is no good. Well, let's take another look at that Army scoreboard with 7 minutes and 35 seconds remaining in the fourth quarter. Your new score, Massaponax.
Now we got a 26-14 ball game.
14.
Massaponax scoring in the fourth quarter. And they got 7:35 to go when they scored it.
North on Route 1 from Panther Stadium.
All right, so guys, the Lions they got time, but they've got to be efficient with the football now.
Well, this is when Byron, you got a young team, right? This is where you're the offensive coaches. You're rallying around that offense, and you're saying, guys, you know what? We got to take this 1 score at a time. We're not worried about 14. We're worried about the 7. So this is a good test for down the road for this young team right here tonight in this half. Right here in this drive right here.
All right. See if he kicks it deep this time.
Yeah, and on the last kickoff for Massaponax, he kind of pooched it, and it burned him because he returned it, and he returned it deep into all the way down to the 32-yard line of Massaponax.
Yeah. I got a feeling he's going to kick this one
deep.
Yeah,
he's going to put a leg in this one because he's 10 yards back approaching the ball. Oh.
And he's brought down inside the 10-yard line. Just what you're looking for if you're Massaponax.
Yeah, that's great kickoff coverage by your special teams, your kickoff team.
Brought down immediately by number 17, Josiah Perry.
Well, there was a little bit of confusion between the two Louisa receivers back there. They kind of ran together, and they were a little slow getting going. And then when he did come out, it was too much east and west, not enough north and south.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a long kick, but he also the coverage was really good. He had a lot of people down there. And Louisa got the ball on we'll call it the 9-yard line. Jackson going to throw. Jackson, and the play's whistle dead.
Maybe encroachment. No.
False start on the offense.
And Louisa's had enough of these 5-yard penalties tonight.
All right, so that's going to move the ball back just inside the 5-yard line.
Yep.
Five-yard penalty moves the ball down to the 4-yard line. It remains first down, now 15.
Another score from over at Cortland, 22-7. Cortland over North Stafford. I don't think it's quite over yet.
Handoff. Did he fumble the football? No.
No, but he's tackled back at about the 1-yard line.
Yeah, he almost got tackled in the end zone.
Ball comes back to
Donovan Nelson was the ball carrier. Now we're looking at second and about 16. The ball on about the 2-yard line.
And it's going to be 7 down and 16.
Definitely need some positive yardage on this play right here. They're deep in their own territory at the 2-yard line.
Jackson's
punch
going to
this
throw
thing
it.
out.
Airs it out. Incomplete.
Got a penalty flag over on the other side. I think one of the receivers might have left early.
Donovan Nelson, the intended receiver. One thing Coach Patrick will not be happy about was all these penalties.
Yeah, you're right.
They played that first ball game at Louisa. They were practically flawless on penalties.
Yeah.
Tonight they've had a lot of problems. And most of the penalties have been the 5 yards. Yep.
See, I would decline this penalty because it's only half a distance of the goal.
Massaponax has declined the penalty. So as a result,
3rd and
17 yards to go.
16.
It is 3rd down.
Handoff.
Fumble. And Louisa got it back.
He barely got it to the end zone. 4th down, you would think they got to punt the ball down in.
Inside the 1.
Ball is inside the 1. 4th and 18. I got to believe they're going to take a timeout because they're going. Well, they can't move the ball much further back. So
No.
the penalty ain't going to be but a half a yard or a foot. All right, they're definitely going to take a delay of game penalty or either call a timeout.
Timeout.
I think they called the timeout.
Finally called a timeout. You're almost in no man's land here, aren't you, Coach?
You are, yep.
You're down 2 scores. You're 99 yards from where you need to go.
If you punt it from the back of the end zone, you're going to give them good field position.
Yeah, they're going to get
You're
excellent
almost
field
better
position.
off taking safety, but you're already down.
Right.
At least kick it from the 20. Guys, I'm going to tell y'all something. Just the old coach in me and what I saw, I believe that young man fumbled that ball on purpose and rolled it out there so he knew he would get tackled in the end zone. He was in the end zone.
Yeah.
To keep from getting a safety on him.
Yeah.
Just my opinion of what I kind of saw. And if he did, you know what? That's smart on his part.
Yep.
Starting to get a little breeze blowing.
Yes,
That
it's
flag,
starting getting breezy up
flag
there.
down there, rolling down there.
Yeah,
now.
you can feel the wind coming in the window. Yeah.
Yeah.
Feels pretty good, too.
Feels real good.
All right, they're going to punt the football. Or at least Albertson's in punt formation.
It is 4th down.
Let's see if he punts it. Gives him a safety. No, he's going to punt it. High and short. And the ball hits on the 20, takes a good Louisa bounce. And they come over to that thing about as well as they could hope for.
Yeah.
Massaponax got the ball on the 33-yard line.
Down at the 33-yard line, and that's where Massaponax takes over. 1st and 10.
5:42 to go, and would have been a long night for football over here at Massaponax tonight.
Another score from over at Cortland, 28-7. They still not over yet either.
So that punt, it's not going to win any awards for the prettiest thing, but it was effective.
That's
It
right.
netted out about 30 yards.
That's right. All right, here come the Panthers, up 26-14. Shook, the quarterback, calling the play at the line of scrimmage. Man in motion, gives that ball to the big fullback, and let's see, did it blow it dead?
Yeah.
Prior to the snap, encroachment on the defense.
Yeah, had several.
I mean,
looks,
how
like
many times has Louisa done that tonight?
Several times, Dickie.
Huh?
Several times.
Yeah.
At
4 or 5 times they've done that
4
tonight.
or 5 times, I think.
4 or 5 times
Yep.
for sure.
First and 5 from the 28. for Massaponax.
And they're not jumping off sides. They're just lining up in the neutral zone.
Man in motion. Hand off to the fullback. He's going to score a touchdown. 28-yard touchdown run. Number 1, Donovan Phillips got the touchdown. On a 28-yard run, and this one's been salted away now by the Panthers.
Well, the score at the end of this game, guys, is not really going to indicate how close the game was.
No, it's not. No, it's not. 5:35 to go. And we got a timeout on the field. Well, we got an injury. That was the reason for the timeout.
Yeah, he's up. We certainly hope he's okay. Let's give him a round of applause.
All right. It's now 32-14. Massaponax coming back out there.
All right, Massaponax getting ready to attempt the PAT.
Ball is down, kick is up, kick is good.
Good.
And the kick is up and good. So let's take another look at that RB score.
All
All right, so that makes the score 33-14.
Yep.
Seconds remaining in the fourth quarter. Your new score.
All right, Tommy sent me some final scores. EC Glass 27, GW Danville 14, Spotsy 34, Caroline 28, Glen Allen 14, Patrick Henry 6. Patrick Henry still hasn't won a ball game. And Glen Allen's now 3-0. Turner Ashby 55, Monticello 27. And King George and Riverbend, the only score he's got is 20-7 King George. But he's got in the second quarter.
It's got to be further.
It's got to be a lot longer than that. All right, this one is winding down here tonight. Chancellor still leading Fluvanna. The last score we got on that was 19-14. Freeman beating Mechanicsville 23-0.
All right, Massaponax set to kick off, and look like they're going to go deep with it again, and why not? Because the last one they pinned Louisa inside the 10-yard line. He kicks that one well into the end zone.
He put that one 8 yards deep in the end zone.
Yeah, he put a foot into that.
Yeah, he did. All right, we got 5:35 to go here. And a football game that started at 7 o'clock. And going to probably linger to about 11 o'clock. One thing Louisa did do that I really feel good about is they answered the bell after getting down 20-0. When it looked like it was going to be a runaway, they made a football game out of it. You got to give them credit for that.
Yeah, you did.
I mean, they were one play away from being ahead in this game.
Exactly.
Penalty is against the kicking team. 5-yard penalty moves the ball back to the 35-yard line and moves the attempt to kick.
All right. I think he's going to try to kick it deep again. Lynch has got a good leg. Yep. And this one's going to be taken when they let the ball hit the ground. Now it's taken up to the 20 and up to the 25 and across the 25 up to about the 28-yard line. And that was Haywood, the ball carrier for Louisa.
Turn across the 25 to the 28
Lions will take over on the 28.
Louisa takes over first and 10.
And what you'd like to see now is your offense come out and just drive the ball, have a good controlled drive, execute plays.
End up with something positive, Byron, to finish up on and take to the locker room with.
Absolutely.
Yeah, exactly. Another score from over Cortland. Cortland 28, North 13.
They're still playing over
They're
that.
still playing over that too.
Jackson
There's that-
got a
there's
man
that-
open.
there was that
He's
play.
Got it. Haywood at the 50. Haywood inside the 50. Haywood down to the 45-yard line.
That's the same play they used earlier when he was so wide open. The safety hung back a little bit that time.
Big gainer.
He's into Panther territory before being brought down at the 45-yard line. First down.
22, 27-yard pass play.
Yep.
Jackson to Haywood.
All right, ball at the 45-yard line of Massaponax. There's a quick pass out to the left, and he's going to get dropped for probably a 5-yard loss.
Passes complete to number 6, DeMarza Rush.
Yeah, we lost 4 yards on that play. Second and 14 across the way.
The 49-yard line. Loss of 4 on the play brings second down and 14.
.420 and counting to go here in this football game. 33-14 now to score. Massaponax on top. Jackson keeps the ball and got back not quite to the original line of scrimmage where he's brought down. Now we're looking at 3rd and 13 across the way.
And with 13 yards to go,
All right.
it is 3rd down.
Louisa up over the ball. Line of scrimmage is in Massaponax territory at the 47-yard line.
Jackson going to throw. Down the field it goes. Got his man. And he's down around the 30-yard line where he's brought down. Nice pass by Jaheim Jackson that time.
Pass complete to number 7, Austin Grady. He's down to the 30-yard line and picks up a first down.
Austin Grady, the receiver on that pass. Clock continuing to run. They got the 1st and 10 on the 30. Impressive drive by the Lions. Jackson going to throw again. Dumps it off on a kind of a screen pass. And he's going to be hit. Nope, he's still going.
Still going.
He's down around the 20-yard line. A nice run after he caught the ball.
Passes complete to number 20.
Samuel George, the ball carrier for Louisa.
I'll tell you this, guys, there's still some people flying around out there.
Yeah, they are.
There's some bodies flying.
Exactly. You gotta be proud of that.
Second down and 2.
2nd and 2. Jackson going to throw again. Got his.
Oh,
no, he threw an
no.
interception. And
the pass intercepted.
intercepted. And
Try for the Panthers. Massaponax football.
Jaden Davis saved the touchdown.
Yeah, a little quick out pattern to the right side, and the defender just, quarterback looked that way the whole time. The defensive back just jumped the route.
Yep.
Massaponax takes over on a 29-yard line.
29-yard line.
And we got 2:44 to go. Hand off to the fullback, and he is dropped.
Good defensive play.
And I'm trying to, the guy that made that stop, I think was number 55, and that was a big, deep Braden McIntyre.
I'll tell you what, he lowered the boom on him that time.
Yep.
He dropped him dead in his tracks.
Loss of 1 on the play.
2nd and 11.
Second down and 11 from the 28.
Clock running. We be down around 2 minutes when the ball is snapped. Massaponax huddling up now and
Yeah, they're-
using as
they're
much of the
no
clock as
hurry
they
at
can.
all.
No. They're going to get their second win of the season tonight. The Lions are going to suffer their first loss. And it moved again. Got another penalty, the same thing. Defensive lineman moved.
Prior to the snap, encroachment on the defense.
And that time they actually moved. He didn't line up offside. He moved into the neutral zone.
Right, yeah, he jumped offside.
Yep.
If you line up in the neutral zone, it's encroachment. If you move across it, it's offside. But it's really the same thing. It's just a fancy encroachment's fancy word for being offside. But you know what, guys? I'm gonna tell you something right now. If you was to told Coach Patrick after the first 3 games they'd be 2-1, he would have took that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you. Yep. Oh, man, he is just leveled. Isaiah Holland.
Yeah, there's no quitting these guys. I mean, they're playing hard.
Third and 8. Yeah, I'm with Coach Coleman. I think Louisa fans, most Louisa fans would have took 2-1 at this stage.
Yep.
And now he's got 2 weeks to get them ready, and they'll learn a lot from this tonight.
You'll go back and look at film. Film, guys, let me tell you something. Film is one of the best teaching tools you can have because film don't lie. You know, sometimes you tell a kid you did this, do that. Oh, no, Coach. You show it to them on film. They can't deny it. But you go back and point out the good things and you point out the bad things.
Fullback, the ball carrier. And we're going to have about 2 more plays, and this is going to be history. First and 10.
You'd like to think that you just take a knee and kneel it out and don't want no more bodies being banged around, but we'll see what happens.
First and 10 for the Panthers from the 46.
If they stay in the huddle long enough, this could be the last. This will probably be the last play of the football game right here. This will end it right here.
Yeah.
They won't have to run another play after this. And they're taking plenty of time. Now Shook will get under center. And man in motion. Hand it off to the fullback. And he's tackled. And that's going to be the football game. You don't have to run anymore, and that's the ball game tonight from Massaponax High School. The final score is the Massaponax Panthers 33 and the Louisa Lions 14. And Massaponax jumped out to a 20-0 lead. Louisa battled back, made it a 20-14 ball game. Massaponax scored twice in the fourth quarter to put the game away and comes away with a 33-14 win, but personally, I feel good about Louisa's effort tonight.
If you're that coaching staff over there at Louisa's side, you got to be happy with what you saw. I mean, they didn't quit; they fought, and with a young squad, they got 2 weeks to get ready. They come out of the non-district schedule 2-1. I think they're in good shape.
I couldn't agree with you more, Coach.
Yeah, absolutely, and you think about it. I mean, Louisa's young defense. It took them, you might as well say, it took them a better part of that first half to really get adjusted to what Massaponax was doing offensively.
And not just the offense that they're getting adjusted to, Byron, but it was also the speed of those backs when they were hitting those holes. You know?
Exactly. So they're going to learn from it, and now they got a couple weeks. And I'll be honest with you, I think is it Western Albemarle in a couple weeks, Dickie?
Western Albemarle is Louisa's game in 2 weeks.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to be Western Albemarle in 2 weeks. So, absolutely.
I think Louisa's bye couldn't have come at a better time. They're going to learn something from this performance tonight. They learned some lessons, and I think when they hit the field against Western Albemarle in 2 weeks, they're going to be a much better football team than when they left Massaponax tonight.
I don't think there's any question about that because, you know, I've always said you're going to teach more out of a loss than you are a win. And sometimes the things you teach out with that loss, really carries over down the road to help build for that future. You know, Dickie, you remember back in 91, we went down to Salem, they hadn't lost a game.
Yep.
And you know what, and they got behind.
Yep.
And, you know, they weren't used to that.
Right.
You know, Amherst, when they came to Spotsylvania, they weren't used to being behind. You know, both of my football teams had lost games.
Yeah.
So, you know, and I set them in the bleachers, and I told them, I said, guys, you know what? We know what it's like. We've been there. You know, sometimes when you haven't been there, you don't understand the lessons. You know, I've got a plaque that sits up on my barn, on my mantle that somebody give me. And it says this: a good coach can change a game, but a great coach can change a life.
Yeah.
You think about that statement, that's what this does. This game tonight teaches you life lessons.
Right.
Not just football lessons, but life lessons.
Right.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely. And I think this team will grow.
Yep.
I mean,
Absolutely.
If you look at these first 3 games, I think they got to be satisfied with a 2-1 record. Okay.
Absolutely.
And I think they'll build off of this. And as far as I know, I don't think they came out of this game with any serious injuries to anybody.
Didn't.
So they should be healthy, healed
Yep.
up, and ready to go
Yep.
in a couple weeks.
And one thing we haven't touched on, Coach, and you saw this, Louisa's starting, the guy everybody thought was going to be Louisa's starting quarterback, who, as I understand, was a really outstanding football player, got hurt, never played in the first ball game, and Jackson had to step in there, and Louisa's had to respond with a really good football player who would have been a quarterback, never getting to play for him when they thought all during the preseason he was going to be the man.
Yeah, absolutely correct, Dickie. And I saw that young man throw footballs over when they came over spots. He did some 7-on-7, and I counted for him that day. That young man throw football.
Yep.
And he's got another year.
Yep.
So he'll be back. He'll bounce back. But you know what? But you got to also give this youngster, who was a middle school quarterback last year.
Right.
And what he's come out and been able to accomplish and help this football team do in these first 3 games, you know, you got to be proud of that young man.
Yep. All right, Byron, we're getting ready to sign off here. We got Andrew Woolfolk up here with us. You got any last words?
No, just appreciate you folks listening in tonight, and we want to just encourage everybody to back these lines up a couple weeks when we get back on the road, and it's going to be a great season. I know it is.
Coach?
Well, you know, I think tonight, like I said a minute ago, these coaches from Louisa have something to come away from this game proud of the way these kids fought here tonight. And that's going to carry over 2 weeks from now. Like Byron said, I don't know if I want to be in those shoes of Western Albemarle in 2 weeks, because these kids will come out ready to play. And they're playing it in the jungle.
At Louisa, in the jungle.
You playing in the jungle, that's a strike against you right there before the ball's ever snapped.
All right, I've enjoyed broadcasting this game with y'all, and always good to have you with us, Coach, whenever you can make it, and your analyst and your knowledge of the football game. And over the years, I've enjoyed broadcasting those Spotsylvania games. Tommy and I got to do 2 of those state championship games. But I feel good about this effort tonight. One time I thought this is going to be bad. I'm really glad to see the way Louisa responded.
Yeah.
I think they're a better football team now than they were when they came over here.
Yeah.
And I think they're going to be a lot better in 2 weeks after this bye.
Yeah,
and then Andrew Woolfolk is going to sign us off the air. And we're going to get ready to go home from Massaponax High School tonight. And what has been a long Friday night and a lot of high schools, and a lightning delay has caused a lot of late football games tonight.
Long night for a lot of places.
Right.
Andrew, appreciate you, brother. All
Yep.
you've done for us here tonight.
Yes.
All right.
Thank you.